Right, yes, so last session, as you guys have all gone round and remembered bits, you helped a group of the city guard investigate some weird goings on in the City of the Dead. You found what you believe to be the source of the weird grave robbing undead.
I like how we've assumed we've just found a bloke downstairs in a crypt and just gone, he looks a bit murdery, it's fine. That'll do.
He did try and murder us. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you totally didn't bust into a random crypt and then murder the guy that was just chilling out down there. It's fine.
No, he was doing evil stuff.
Completely therefore murder.
I had a feeling.
They're contemplating Antinellian.
After spending several hours walking around the graveyard, one of you deciding it'd be a good idea to get a high vantage point from the wall, miscalculating the distance required by magic, and thus giving you an indication of the types of magic they used to escape previously. I missed a step. You're short by 10 foot. I missed a step again! Quickly!
It worked.
You made a bit of a loud racket. One of the guards decided to investigate, not realising you were on the wall. He fell through suspicious circumstances.
Let's also not forget, I was a zombie at this point.
Yes, you had disguised yourself as a zombie for shits and giggles. Thinking that'd be a good idea. You found yourselves a weird, obscure magic dagger, and completely heated, battered, and annihilated a evil icon of Bane.
Oh yeah.
That is the thing that occurred.
Yeah. There's a weird holy symbol that's radiating evil. Destroy.
Just leave Moonbeam on it for a few minutes. You're fine.
I apply all the damage. So, after the eventful night, you head back to your tavern. One of your comrades, having had his mind and charisma completely annihilated by a spell, a last-ditch attempt by your opponent to try and scare you guys off. Based on the faces around the table, it almost worked. Some clerics were sent to your tavern. You recovered. Found yourself able once again to speak and cast spells.
We didn't notice much difference.
Thankful to the clerics and to Coralon for keeping you sane. In this time period, you cast Identify on the dagger. And then I assume you guys rest, but that is your call.
Yes,
it is fairly early in the morning at this point.
Yeah, I'll go to sleep.
Yeah, we'll
Rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
been a long night.
I'll head back and rest.
Okay.
I'm waiting for you had a successful long rest before.
You have a successful.
Yay!
Until.
Does that cold tail not hurt? It hurts my leg whenever she goes past.
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah,
loads
you've got
of
random
muscle,
stray in the pub.
no nerves. That's the key.
I think he's probably become calloused by now.
That happens after a while. Oh, tails, sorry.
Having a successful 8 hours rest, you wake up feeling more refreshed, less knackered and beaten.
What a waste of a natural 20.
Don't do a Bailey, just save them.
I never normally get them.
Just steal one of Dave's, it's fine. Yes, 5 or 6 again.
Just store them up.
As always, the world is yours, and thus the game. What would you guys like to do?
We need to check that Scarecrow out.
Okay.
Yeah, with the missing kids and the Scarecrows.
Oh, did you identify the evil symbol?
Someone recognised it as the symbol of Bane, the god of death.
Yeah, we did get paid.
There was something slightly different about it. It wasn't its exact symbol, but none of you recognised what the weird altercation was before annihilating it.
Turns out it was fame! what he was trying.
She was staring at the borders by my feet.
Cool.
You wake up, it's about midday at this point. You guys have previously agreed that you were going to have your tavern open 11 till 11 to reduce the strain on your staff.
That was an oversight.
Why
Clearly,
are we being
the
so
girls in
nice
the
to our
top room
staff?
have started early. So there is a little bit of hubbub as you walk down. You can smell the cooked food for the lunch.
I could eat. I'm going to go downstairs and have some
Yeah,
food.
I'll head down for
Yeah.
breakfast. Food.
Follow my
Join in.
nose.
You step down, all given
Can I get some kitchen towel?
given a plate of traditional breakfast meats, cheeses, breads, and some water. A tankard of ale is offered, if assumed.
Just
Water is a lot less safe. Just saying.
sorry, I don't
And the guy behind the bar informs you that some guards came around earlier in the day and have attached a billboard outside of your tavern. As part of the requirements, Waterdeep is controlled a lot by guilds. I am going to need that at some point. And part of being a member of the beer sellers and taverns group, you are required to have a notice board outside of your tavern.
What the shit? Right, I'm going outside and look at this fucking billboard.
There is one piece of parchment with the rules of the city on, a copy of which you guys
Never
received
read.
at some point in the future, still have never read.
We did have a copy.
No, that's not true.
Wow,
We read the
okay.
first paragraph.
To
Oh,
be
yeah,
fair,
yeah.
I also want to point out Tom read the entire document. If you remember, he browsed the entire document while they were.
He's
wasn't
also
it?
pissed off and
Wasn't it in
disappeared,
the murdered street? I think you got gifted it and read the entire thing
Yes,
out loud.
yes.
so- And we all
I
ignored
look-
him.
I look-
As
Did
Tom
our
started
thing.
reading it, I'm pretty sure half the party just wandered into. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read the rules with some surprise.
Oh, no.
Didn't know that one.
Ah.
Blackmail illegal. Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
keep that one quiet then.
Bribing the guard. Huh.
And I will get bored halfway through again.
Yeah,
and just
fair.
go to this bit.
Turns out later it comes up with bucket list rather than rules of the city.
Is there anything else
I
on our
already bribed
notice
the
board?
guard.
At this moment in time, it seems to be like there are, reports from the city guard. So if there's any kind of missing persons or incidences that,
Have they installed a quest board on our outside our pub?
pretty much.
Thank you.
There is also kind of if there's festivals coming up and stuff, you can see.
Ooh, hi.
Oh my god, it's
Or,
convenient.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Is it
we're
like
not
a
going to go to any other
corkboard
pub
type
to go check it
job?
out.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, there's a little bit more solid than cork, but that kind of style. Nice little
Can I
dark-
stick up
dark
one of my
You
flyers?
certainly can, yeah. There is no rule in the rules of the city to say you cannot fly what is it?
Can I
Stick
go
it.
out, check the rules, and see if there are any rules against altering the rules as posted?
Where it says do not, you just
There's
cross out the
little
word
small
not.
print that Tom would be super proud of that says amendment of this document is a criminal offence in the city.
Amendment, yes. Addition.
Get yourself a good lawyer.
Please go find Tom.
Coda, roll me
Yeah, we've
an
already
arcana
probably
check.
Okay.
Wisdom based, not intelligence based.
Oh, well, no, yeah. 17.
17, cool. Looking at some of the parchments, some of the ink seem to have faded. These are semi-enchanted parchments. The enchantments are very weak and do not last long, they're not permanent. But pretty much anything can be put up for between 2 and 4 days, and then it will start to fade. And you assume, based on that roll, that they are either replaced or a new note is written, and hopefully it appears on the notice board.
Okay.
But other people can put stuff up, but most of those would be just simple parchment.
Okay, so this is scribed from
It surmises that from a central kind of guard post, that they can kind of get messages out pretty quickly, keep people updated.
This is very clever.
I'm going to start growing a vine around the edge of the notice board.
Cool, nice. And just pop out. That's a bit dull. Bit of druid craft. Yeah.
Basically. Just run there, just doesn't block anything. Just
Yeah.
make it a bit more.
Nice
Make it a
little,
bit,
you know, ivy and
make it a bit
vines.
nicer, yeah.
It's cute.
If
So
Esther
there's
could
this
cough, she
central
would.
place, the central guidepost, I think, where they write and
Oh, that was quick.
every message.
Oh God, the opportunity.
I know.
What would we do?
What wouldn't we do?
I give them rope. They hang themselves.
Not all of us.
Two very specific members do.
You want to find out where they do this and
100%.
yeah.
She wants to draw a cock and balls, essentially, on everyone.
We'll be advertising for.
Welcome to
the
Waterdeep. Fuck off.
I think if you get there, just write go to
On every pub.
on every tab.
Sure, that's not going to point suspicion in your direction.
I'm a short-term thinker.
Why don't we get...
What you want to do is put closed due to health and safety and then hide it on ours.
That's clever.
I'm about the immediate gratification. I think. Long-term consequences.
I'm going to have to think on
Never
this.
been more proud of not being a joint venture in a business before.
Well, that's for later.
It's fine. If I had necessary, I'm just going to go out to the forest and just hide.
We'll find you. I'll go back into the pub.
Okay.
Finish my fight. So, Scarecrows.
Yeah. I'm missing children. I wasn't really listening.
I think they're connected.
Okay.
But let's focus on the Scarecrows first.
Do we know how old the children are that have gone missing?
If they're over a certain age, does it not matter?
Well, I'm just wondering how creepy it is.
Right.
But yes,
But yeah,
at some point they had to be old enough to know better.
like 6.
If you've been living on the street for at least 3 years, it's your own fault. Covers ages 0 to 90.
No,
Anything over than that, it's fine.
we should try and find them as well.
Yeah. But it might be a really good growth experience for them. They've been thrown out into the world and they've got to survive by themselves. They would learn so much.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't know.
never have children.
Yeah, no.
Would I have any idea about Scarecrows and stories?
Roll me a wisdom-based history check.
There's one about a little girl, a scarecrow,
Guidance.
a lion, and a
Thank you. I'll have that one.
and some strange red shoes.
Oh, thanks, needed that. Was it Arcana or History?
History,
History.
wisdom-based.
Wisdom-based history. So that's -1, so that's +3, so that's 11, that's 13.
13.
That was a lot of math.
Jack of all trades. And mixed combinations of skills.
Yeah.
Odd stories of people playing pranks, like dressing themselves up as scarecrows and kind of running around forests, farms late at night to scare people. The odd story of people swearing blind the scarecrows have moved, but when they've gone to investigate, they don't seem to be alive. Older stories of mages who dealing in evil dark deeds who have kind of raised scarecrows instead of zombies as kind of small armies and stuff, but nothing specific.
Okay. Could be anything. It could be pranksters. It could be evil wizards. It's a fairly wide scale.
Can you get golems made out of straw?
I don't see why not.
Just animate a scarecrow.
People say Scarecrows move.
Yeah.
As you guys are sat around thinking and discussing, Father walks in and looks at you guys, smiles, and just takes a table to the side and has a small meal and a very small glass of wine.
Is that the apothecary?
Yes.
Remember name, sorry.
They've only ordered a small. Like, they should be giving us more money.
They are paying the meal.
But who orders a small glass of wine?
Breakfast wine.
Yeah, that's when you get the large. Get started for the rest of the day.
Some people have models.
Those people are boring.
Yeah, but they
Go stay other. She's my druidic teacher at the moment, so
Yes, they do tend to help you out and
yeah. So.
greets you warmly and invites you to sit with
I
them.
think Ash has a crush.
Have you managed to make anything of the produce we found the other day? You went walking around the city, looking in some gardens, and managed to cultivate. Managed to harvest a few small samples of different plants. I hope you wrote them all down.
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
I'm gonna
Because I gave you a list.
prestidigitate a sweet smell coming from Ash.
Okay.
I'm
Like
going to go to our bartenders and get them to deliver, like, a couple of glasses of wine on the house. To split between them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving him sort of a really nice sort of aftershave sort of scent.
Okay. What sort of hints of flavours? Or...
A hint of vanilla, maybe, somewhere in there. Rose. I've got no idea about it.
Elderflower.
Fuck it, yeah, that too.
Gooseberry.
Mint, some mint
must have
as well.
stinks
That
of
was
elderflower.
quite
Fresh
good.
grass. Yeah.
You smell like a garden, which you normally kind
Yeah.
of do anyway.
I'll order a candle for the table. Just like, I mean, I'm nice, but it doesn't mean I can't have fun.
Yeah, fair. A candle and 2 glasses of wine are brought over and just placed on the table. And...
I'm just gonna go.
We're very not subtly being like,
yeah, you've all shifted round
Yeah,
to
yeah.
one
Yeah.
side of the table.
I'm just going into discussion about plants and stuff. So.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've got this. There.
Yeah.
Cool, sweet. So yeah, they start talking of kind of what you picked up and ways to
Very
cultivate it.
Yeah.
Previously, they showed you in certain areas, especially in the kind of richer parts of town, glyphs that had been drawn to emanate certain magical properties, like darkness for certain plants that aren't native to the area. Goes into more detail about those, about how they need to be regularly updated, the magic's not being permanent, but it's something that they are trying to learn. So they've been studying kind of the glyphs. It's not their kind of area of magic. I imagine like that's exactly how it goes. Is like you having a conversation and that lot just cracking themselves up.
Yeah.
we get a nice
were-
little.
Sorry, yeah.
25 on a performance check.
When
When my lutes come out, I'm playing a lovely little melody.
minor illusion harmonies in the background. I think we've got some other stuff on this side.
No, okay.
No.
Soft kind of background music starts playing, and an extra melody kicks into the
I'm
background.
gonna. Oh shit! I forgot the spell.
Oh.
I should have the spell.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, prestidigitate. Just some nice twinkling lights surrounding them.
Darken all the lights.
Yeah, darken the lights and just some
His
twinkles.
candle.
The mood of the pub changes significantly from the tawdy morning crew that you're used to slightly more intimate, relaxed evening vibes.
Can I just, as I walk past behind Ash at some point, I just touch one of his hairs and cast light on it at the back of his head, so it's not glowing. Got
Those
massive
pictures of
halo.
saints where they've
Yeah.
got like the big gold dish behind their head.
Decided we're setting them up.
I don't even know.
I feel like it's been going on for a while, but I can't remember.
It's been very organic as he finds a mentor, which is kind of part of his aim to increase his druid prowess, and you guys went, yeah, they'll hook up, it's fine, and then realised they won't, and then decided to make sure they did.
We all know, like the Sith, there can only be 2 druids, and one takes over master from the other when they fuck.
It's a very balanced power dynamic then.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not their area of expertise in any way, shape or form.
Enjoying myself.
Because it isn't druidic magic, but they are trying to learn, and they do explain if you decide, because you've got a small yard out back of the tavern. If you decide to try and grow some stuff, they will, if they manage to get anywhere with it, we'll try and help you with it.
Awesome. Yeah, it's good. I'm going to try out growing the simpler stuff initially, and then
and then move on
I
to the
can
bigger
be.
bits.
I can be.
But yeah, you're free to come over and, in the evenings when the shop's closed, to try and decipher some scrolls and arcane sigils, trying to kind of make the magics work.
absolutely.
This definitely works. What is it? Just 8%
They finish their drink and the meal. Thank you for the conversation. Unless you've got anything else you want to
90%.
pick their brains about?
Ethanol.
Unless she knows anything about moving scarecrows.
Just get some chloroform.
It's not. It repeats a couple of stories that kind of code of off, but in much vaguer detail.
Yeah.
Taste of it.
I apologise for
No,
not knowing anything. Wishes you a good day.
Yep.
Just flavour differently.
I was going to go like this and to go.
Okay. See, you guys see Phyla after kind of their conversation. They got a little bit kind of heated in the conversation, like when they started talking about magics and stuff.
Yeah, we were not listening.
Yeah. I'm not even going to get you guys to roll perception checks.
Just nudge and suggest lovers quarrel.
But yeah, you can see kind of they were doing hand kind of not carving into the table, but kind of drawing sigils, dipping their finger into the wine, drawing sigils on the table to try and describe the magics they're working with. And then they casually leave.
You would say they were both becoming moist.
The table definitely had a damp patch left on it.
Don't force it. It's organic.
I'm a druid, it has to be organic.
Hey!
Yeah, we literally didn't listen to any of that.
We just talk about plants.
Plants and shit.
Well, boring.
Plants and magics.
And potentially go around to discuss more magic later.
Oh, yeah.
It worked!
That's definitely a way to.
She's invited round to hers, yes.
I believe the custom is to take a bottle of wine when you go.
Just so happens I have a very special bottle of wine.
I forgot my calendar.
So not my pub.
We have a pub. We have plenty of bottles of wine.
Yeah, but this is very special.
So, everything go okay?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, she did walk out in a puff.
No, it got on very well.
Peter's going to be here in a second,
Sure.
and I've just had a text asking for more bubbly.
I wonder what the vibrator was.
What the vibrator was.
The vibrate. I heard
Not
something.
what you said.
That is what I said.
Do you need to go after her?
No, we'll hopefully be meeting up another point.
There we go. Definitely worked. Now play it. Cool.
Can someone take this light off?
No, he's left.
Where's that cleric gone?
Bondle just disappears out the back to deal with the delivery of food and booze
Yeah.
for the pub.
Yeah.
I'll take the smell off though. In the smell.
I'll drop the twinkles.
No, to be honest, it improved you a little bit.
Although you have got like a little bit of dirt right there.
No, that's just how we normally look.
It's just that ingrained.
It's Ron Weasley on the train.
Ron Weasley.
Weedsley, perhaps.
Yeah.
How much was pizza? 8.50.
780.
7.80.
So what is the plan for
I have
today?
no bloody clue.
How to go investigate the
Scarecrows.
scarecrows?
Oh shit, yeah.
See if there's a connection to the missing children.
God.
I imagine there is. It's possible that the scarecrows are either people dressing up to scare people, or they are familiars
Then they're
of a
being
sort.
bad scarecrows. They're meant to like scare birds, not people.
Well, if they're people, I'll just produce flame. Like, reset my lights.
So do we just set all the scarecrows on fire?
No, I want
Because I'm
to.
not against this. In
I
any
just want to
way.
clarify something. He's just said if they're people.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
set them
That's
on
why I
fire.
gave a quizzical look to the druid. I
Right.
mean,
There's nothing wrong with that sentence.
Sure, I would
Yeah.
expect it coming from you.
us.
Fine.
But
From the
they
druid.
will swiftly not stop. They'll swiftly stop pretending to be scarecrows.
They'll swiftly not be people as well.
Yeah, I mean, all we'd achieve is charred scarecrow.
But the children won't go missing anymore.
No, but
I
what
mean, the
about-
missing children will remain
Well,
missing.
yes, that was my issue.
But can any of us talk to dead?
You might be able to tell them apart though when you set them on fire, because a person burning might be different the way a zombie would react. The zombie would be like the person being, shit.
That's fair. That is true.
At which point we put them out and then start from the top.
Right. Okay.
Don't agree to that part,
varying levels of fire.
Oh, yeah. Oh yes, always
Wonderful.
appropriate fire for the occasion.
It's always delightful to see how a group works.
It always comes back to fire.
You keep following us.
I
Like-
mean, yes.
If they are constructs, or if they are summons, or if they are familiars, then fire away. Pun very much intended. If they are people dressed up, which is unlikely, I think, it is the lesser of the options, then maybe not burn people alive.
No, just mild singeing.
Burn them a little bit.
Mild to.
A little singeing, okay,
Yeah.
fine.
I don't
If you
like
do it
the
to one of
right
them,
way
it discourages
morality
the
this
other
group is going.
Just set fire to one and then the rest of them will.
They'll all
The-
fall in line. We burn one of them alive. They'll all fall in line. I like it.
Mild burnings.
I mean, yes, but also there are other ways to make people fall in line. I would say there are varying degrees before
What,
Like-
stabbing them?
pyre.
I do think fire is a bit of a last resort.
Well, yeah.
How about attaching a rock to them and throwing them in?
Yeah, again. I would say a little pre-calamity, but in terms of thinking, but okay.
Fine. You do. But if someone accidentally gets set on fire, I'm not going to put them out.
Oh, if it's an accident, then accidents happen.
I've got the cantrip control flames. It'll be fine. I can put them out again.
Anyway, breakfast is here.
Right, what's the plan, guys?
Investigate Scarecrows.
Do we know where the scarecrows are
In the fields up north.
starting from?
Yes,
There's many
so
things up
it's,
north and many
it's the
things.
area called Undercliff, which is outside the city walls. The reports have come from people inside the field ward, which is kind of a very lower class, kind of slummy area. It's been a little bit more updated and a wall built around that, but that's I can show you on the map.
Would I have any contacts in that area?
Your organisation probably has some, but possibly not you necessarily personally.
No. Would
So
I?
your
yeah.
field ward's up the top, and then the kind of Undercliff is all down that side. If you want to check in and see
Just
it.
open the door.
I'll check in.
There you go.
Nipping back home. And,
I'll see you guys in a bit.
Not at all mysterious.
I was going to go stretch my legs. Half an hour later. Cool. You do get one name given to you that might have some information. A guy called Ziraj.
Ziraj.
Yeah. Z-I-R-A-J.
Okay. Cool.
Just call her back.
Ask. Come here. Come here, Ask. Good girl.
Okay.
He does live in the field ward, or at least that's where they kind of have a known location of.
Okay. Do I know his occupation, or is he part of the group?
He's not part of your group. The information they have.
Catch a dog. Can someone get the remote, please?
Oh no!
Down there.
It's easier to sort of catch the remote as she's going past and she'll let go of it. Where are you? Come on. Oh, there we go. She's going that way.
No, I missed her.
Out. That's my.
Dog interlude.
Yeah. Abby's watching The Good Place, and that remote control could be going to the bad place.
There we go. Oh.
A bit slimy.
We don't want it back. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, they, as far as they're aware, they work. He works with a gentleman in the field wards called Akrog,
Okay, sweet.
who is a butcher.
Okay. I'll go back to well, I don't know if you guys have left or not. I'll head back that way and
Akrog the butcher doesn't sound at all serial killer.
No.
no, not at all.
Well,
Yeah, especially with missing children.
if
Oh my
he's
God,
a
don't eat the
butcher,
pie.
it's fine. If he's not a butcher, then it's time to be concerned. His job title, fine. Nickname, no.
Are we heading off before he gets back?
No, we'll wait for
Right.
her.
Oh yeah, I always forget you're on.
Wait for them.
Yeah. It's,
Okay. You guys go to your rooms, pack up some gear, prep downstairs. Eventually they come back.
Hello. What are we up to?
The field ward.
you knew that.
Got a gentleman to, a huge gentleman to chat to. Name of Ziraj. Might be a good place to start.
Okay.
Nothing I'm familiar with.
I got my Tinder box.
That's me.
Yes.
Stand still, Scarecrow, while I deal with you. It's caught. It's fine. We're all good.
Oh, no, this one's a
Rubbing
little bit
sticks
damp.
at
It's
the
gonna take a while.
I'll prestidigitate it dry.
That's when I go.
Okay, you guys heading across the city. Entering the field ward, there is a main gate between kind of the city main and the field ward. It is predominantly solid buildings, but nowhere near as kind of ostentatious. Very simple and basic. Fairly sturdy from the looks of it, but yes, very, very simple and kind of crammed together, very close. Any alleyways that are between them are very tight.
I'll grab someone passing by and ask where the best place to find Akrog the butcher is.
Okay. Roll me a charisma-based investigation, please.
Yeah. Charisma based stuff.
I'll watch his attempt and
Okay.
go off and do some on my own.
Okay.
I'm going to cast guidance on both of them.
I'll go with Coda.
Charisma based what?
Investigation.
Okay.
Plus D4.
Plus D4.
Okay, let's go with that guidance.
Nice.
An 8.
Investigation is intelligence,
rolled
so I get
under
plus
a
2,
10.
so 14.
Good God.
14,
I'm warming up.
16, 20,
An 8. But
22.
With the 8, you ask someone, they kind of give you a weird glance. Not supposed. Fairly kind of. I thought she was going for pizza. Very soon, kind of out of the gate, realising, looking at you guys.
She will be.
She can't reach
Can't
anything.
reach you. Push it back. Just checking. Before we hear out cliff. Pizza on the floor. Yeah. So I don't imagine.
it's the point at which you can't hear a dog. You can hear it. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good girl.
The way you guys are dressed, having just come out of the main city, it kind of freaks them out a little bit that you're asking that question. Coda and Thalgor kind of breaking off from the group a little bit, weaving their way through the crowds. Ask a couple of people, similar to kind of the contacts you've made, kind of very simple clothes, a little bit dirty and raggedy, sat on a street corner. Kind of get down, you ask the kind of question where Akrog would be, or if you could find Ziraj. And they kind of give you a sideways glance for a second, look around, and then Akrog's 4 streets down on the left. I don't suppose you'd need the supplies he's selling.
What's he sell?
Very simple cuts of meats. It keeps the scraps for the field ward. Anything he does make that's nicer gets sent into the city main.
Oh, thank God he is actually a butcher.
You go there.
We haven't asked what
Just the
meat.
two, it's just the two.
That's true.
It's just the two of us there. Cool. Thank you for your time.
Roll me an insight check.
Heartbreaking sound.
Insights. Oh.
Ooh.
That's cool.
I'll give them silver piece.
Okay, cool. Thanks you greatly, and instantly kind of inside the shirt.
Thank you. I'll turn around, start walking back, and then I'll see you guys.
Mhm.
So, he's actually a butcher.
Oh shit!
Oh, thank God.
What's meat?
I don't know.
Is it cheap? You could get into like.
The good stuff's going into the kitchen. And
Well, if we have
the
the shit stuff in ours and just put enough herbs on it.
There's only so much.
Let's find out what type of meat it is first.
Because we eat from that kitchen.
Don't eat the pie.
Never been more glad to work there or be involved with this business.
Anyway, it's this way, and I just lead
Head
the
on
way.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyone that does care about their business, roll me a history check.
I mean, I care about mine. But...
Their business.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm done. No.
18.
4.
What? Well, no, 2.
I'm surprised you bothered rolling.
7.
18.
18, 7,
4.
4,
7.
7. Cool.
I do care about the business. I want to get as much money as possible, so therefore I want the cheap meat.
Cool. Yeah, for you two guys, generally you guys are supplied by the guilds. It controls the entire city, so you would struggle to go directly to a source, and might incur repercussions if you did.
We already benefit from economies of scale through the guild. It's as cheap as we're going to get it.
I understood about 2 words in that sentence, but carry on.
Head on
Cheap
down.
already.
That
More
was it.
expensive here. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Have you made those echoes?
It's quite a big flow of traffic. This is one of the kind of main streets out of the city. You can see the outside wall of the field ward, not quite as big or ornate or quite as sturdy as the main walls of Waterdeep itself, having been kind of an extension in recent years. There is a steady flow of kind of caravans and merchants and sellswords kind of in and out of the city at this point. And lots of people kind of milling to and from places of business on lunches and stuff like that. Surprisingly, not a massive amount of kind of the locals. The clothing that you see on the main streets is significantly better than what you'd be expecting these people to wear. Mostly because most of them will be out doing their jobs either in the Undercliff fields or in the city itself as servants. But you head down, following the directions that Coda got given, and you do find a squat wood-fronted stone building. Not quite warehouse size, but in this part of the city, a significantly sized building. And you can just see Butcher on a sign across above the door.
I'll walk in.
Where are you?
Okay,
I'll go in as well.
in the front.
Yeah.
Okay. You
Yeah,
guys?
yeah, I'll
Stick
go
with
in.
some description.
Esk, come here.
The tree that she's been pulling around.
No idea.
You guys step in, and there are several people in what you guys have seen kind of around the city. Very simple linen kind of trousers and tops. Both men and women. Anyone with longer hair has it up in a bun. Some of them have aprons on. You suspect kind of servants getting kind of supplies for the houses or businesses that they do serve. 5 or 6 people in the queue kind of waiting. You do see 2 smaller teenagers, one human, one dragonborn, behind the counter, and one large, beefy, brawny, in a leather, blood-spattered apron, dragonborn behind the counter.
She got a toy.
Esk, what you up to? Come here.
It takes a few minutes to get around the back.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do?
I was waiting the key.
Okay.
It's like, right, I'll take it all in. This is interesting.
Very simple, kind of whitewashed, carved stone walls, floors. It's a little bit dirty. They're not like perfectly white. You can see there's a lot of footfall. The counter, very dark wood, and there are stains that you can see. The wood itself is very dark, but there are stains where it's significantly darker.
Yeah.
Esk.
You can see kind of chopping blocks and racks of knives and sharpening steels and that kind of thing. A door to out the back. As you get around the back, very similar kind of wood-fronted base, second story, kind of completely stone. A couple of the boards slightly broken. You can see the stone behind it. Seems to be in certain businesses within this region or within this ward have kind of wood-fronted and painted to make them look a little bit nicer. But it's not massively common. You can see one kind of iron barred gate in front of a wooden door on the back, which is padlocked. The gate is padlocked on kind of between the door and the gate, but you can't see a lock for the door.
How tall's the gate?
It covers the entire wooden door. So it's kind of like in America where you've got like an inner door and a screen door, so the screen door, but it's just iron bars.
Do you want to draw the curtains?
It's a stand-up jobby.
Esk, where are you, sweetheart? Come here.
Now trapped by curtains.
Esk, come here.
Yeah, she literally just
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm just going to squeeze by.
Okay.
Don't you?
How many people are around?
In this kind of very tight, small back alley, you don't see anyone. There are people kind of either side on kind of slightly bigger roads walking, but one is kind of 35 foot to your left, and then the other one's about 50 foot to your right.
Esk, what have I got? Hey, what have I got?
I will
Esk, what's this?
casually
What's
lean up
this?
against and
This?
try and try and unlock it.
Okay.
Yeah, now do down. And where's your paw?
Thieves' tools check. Cool.
Natural 20, which makes it a 25.
25.
That's his first roll again.
Casually lean in,
Second.
You rolled
ticks out. Kind of have to put your hands through the bars and do it reverse, which is surprisingly like it's not common to have to do it this way, but like you kind of take a second to reacquaint yourself and you hear it just the lock pop.
I'll check inside, double check the door's not locked.
You check it and you hear the handle rattle, but the door doesn't open. So you've opened the gate, but not the door behind it.
Okay. Does it feel like the door's locked as well?
Seems to be. Looking behind you, you can see a small kind of iron keyhole next to the handle.
Okay. I'll step back out the gate, relock it, and go back in the front.
10-15 minutes pass by, the people all get kind of different cuts. Some get kind of bags of bones, you imagine for pets or kind of ground meal. You guys walk up to the counter and he kind of looks at you guys and what can I get you?
What's good?
All of it, it's my job.
Do you have any of the cuts that you sent into the city?
After I cut them, they go into the city. They're good cuts like that don't hang around for long.
But you said it's all good.
They're better, but it is all good. I know my job.
I will take, let's say, 3 silvers worth of good topside beef, please, if you have it.
I'm sure we can rustle something up. And he kind of looks at one of the kids and points a thumb to the back and they kind of run off.
Does the kid look related to him?
He's a dragonborn.
One of them is a dragonborn that is the same colour as Krog, and they are both red dragonborns.
Okay.
For a second, I thought that was my keyboard. It's just a welly. I was like, how's she got my keyboard from the keyboard? The other child is a human, possibly related, but you know.
Very rosy cheeks.
But really dry skin.
Kind of, he calls another customer to the counter that's kind of behind you guys.
I wasn't finished.
Oh, and what else would you like?
I will have 24 things for the sausage, please.
Okay.
And do you have any lamb mince?
Can get guys to check the back, and you can see the other kid starts kind of getting the sausages off and wrapping them in some.
Do you have anything in particularly special?
Like what?
Just something that's not quite normal, just a bit different.
Something that might interest you. Had some dinosaur steaks in, kind of hunters the other day. Brought, you know.
That's cool. Can we try some dinosaur steak, please?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Being more exotic, it is a little pricier.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Okay.
I want one, you want one. Who else wants a dinosaur steak?
Yeah, I want one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll have 6 dinosaur steaks as well, please.
Okay, cool. And he kind of just puts a finger up to the rest of the queue, and he goes out the back, and comes back with this big slab. You can see thick kind of fat across the top of it, the skin having been taken off. Pulls a big cleaver off, sharpens it, and very quick, easy, fluid motions just lops off 6 fairly decent kind of thick steaks. Puts them in. When he was out the back, you could hear him saying about lamb mince, and you can hear a couple of doors and chests open. And kind of it's all placed in little sacks on the counter in front of you guys.
Okay.
Being exotic, those are pricier. So 3 silvers worth sausages. I'll give you a discount. We'll only charge 4 silver for those. The steaks are a gold each.
Fine. So, if I say give you 8 gold, will that give me a couple of questions?
You can always ask.
We are investigating the Scarecrows and stories of missing children. And the contact of ours has pointed us in your direction.
I'm gonna keep staring intently at him, trying to read him.
Okay. Kind of thinks for a second, was like, Ziraj has been talking, worrying about people.
That's his name.
He's on break at the minute, but if you hang around, I'm sure he'll be back soon.
That would be great.
That guy always pokes his nose in. Worries about the people. As long as they're still coming through my door, everything's fine.
Okay.
Roll an insight check.
18.
18. Very callous. He doesn't seem to care about Ziraj and the fact that people and Scarecrows are kind of attacking people, or that they might be connected or not. He doesn't bother himself. Yeah. Definitely doesn't hide it either.
Okay, cool.
I'll start putting the meat into my backpack. Just like
Thick sacks.
I will take the sausages. Will you wait for Ziraj?
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Are you guys waiting inside or outside?
I'm heading off.
Yeah, no, you're heading off, yeah.
I'll head off as well.
Okay, sticking the code up.
I'm gonna go out.
Yeah.
And head towards farmland and start looking at scarecrows.
Okay, cool. It is a fair distance to the outer city wall, which will take you into the actual farmlands itself. But you start heading that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go dash.
Okay.
I want to stay in there and keep an eye on whenever they go in the back room to see what's happening in the back room.
Okay.
I'll just casually take a seat and wait.
Okay. There aren't any seats.
Okay.
You can lean against a wall,
Yeah.
kind of out the way.
I'll lean against the wall, but like door side, looking into the room.
Okay. That's fine. You guys heading off? Where are you going?
I'm heading back to the guy who gave me the information.
Okay. Cool. You head back up the streets, and you can see he is still there, and you can see someone giving him a couple of coppers, and he thanks them as he kind of slips it inside his shirt.
I'm vegetarian. What do I want all this meat? I will go to him.
Welcome. Did you find who you were looking for?
They did. Thank you very much.
It's perfectly alright.
Do you have people you care for?
I have friends and some people I call family.
Stop the bag off and get us to side. And over the meat. Make sure you eat well tonight, friend.
And he just kind of instantly kind of awestruck and looks back up at you and thank you very much. And kind of nods his head several times at both of you guys. You can see kind of his eyes start to mist a little bit, and he immediately kind of gets up and then starts walking away, looks back, waves a hand, and then just instantly disappears into the crowd.
You know that. You always follow me, Thagor. You're very loyal. Or do you just worry that they'll get into trouble?
Well, I'm sort of like the muscle in case your charm fails you.
It hasn't yet, but one of these days I'm sure it
Yeah.
will. It is good to have you around, my friend. We should go back and see if Ziraj is around. Actually, no. Is there anything you would like to do? I will follow you.
Well, I was going to go over to the fields and look at the Scarecrows, but Ash has already made his way over. I suppose we could.
Ash, he likes the trees.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, I will follow you, of course.
I feel like there won't be many trees in the farmland.
You know what? You'll be disappointed.
Orchards?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find a farmer that's actually in the fields and see if he knows any stories about the Scarecrows.
Okay. Wait here. I will go and let them know where we are going.
Okay. You guys head back down. You stand kind of on the corner on the main road as Coda nips down one of the side streets back to the butcher shop. 5 minutes pass for you guys. After about 3, he starts giving you looks, kind of like wondering why you're still hanging around. You're not blocking business or the queues, kind of keeping yourselves out of the way, so he hasn't kind of kicked you out. But you do kind of, after 4 minutes or so, get the impression that doesn't really want to hang around. Like, you've got what you came in for, you've got the information you need. But yeah, just keeps continually serving people. And it's a fairly steady stream. Like, there's no massive queues. When you guys arrived, that was kind of the biggest queue you see of these kind of units. There's always kind of 2 or 3 people. And then you do see one guy come in, dressed slightly differently, darker clothes, head kind of past the queue towards a kind of side hatch that will flip up and let him kind of behind the counter. Roll me wisdom checks, you two.
Oh yeah, definitely my skill.
Ask. Come here. Come on, sweetheart.
19.
17.
Cool. You both recognise him. A few days ago, you saw Fala in your tavern with a gentleman. Seems to be the same gentleman. Has his sleeves down. You don't see kind of any tattoos or markings, but you do remember there was a tattoo previously.
Which tattoo was it again?
It was empty, I believe.
The flying snake.
Yeah.
Where was it?
It was on his arm.
Isn't
Is
it?
he wearing like baggy sleeves?
They're not kind of necessarily like the actual sleeve is, but they're kind of cinched at the wrist.
So, okay.
Yeah, it was as Antaran was tattoo.
Who's the side? Okay.
As he kind of goes to step through the counter, Akrog kind of stops, and these guys were looking for.
Hello, Ziraj, I believe.
It is, yes.
Certainly. We're just going to have a conversation outside. I was speaking to the butcher and like flipping a gold.
Okay. So walk over to the counter and put the gold in the counter and say, we'll borrow him for a minute. He kind of goes, his Briggs pockets the gold instantly, 5 minutes.
Sweet.
And
Guide him back outside and around the back.
Ziraj steps out with you two onto the street, and you guys see kind of Coda turn the corner. Dalgor kind of stay on the end, and as Coda walks down towards.
Sort of pull you over.
You see your 2 colleagues kind of step out, and then this guy that
I just put my hand up. Thagor.
Okay, make my way down then.
Make my way downtown.
Next time, Thagor will do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So, we hear the Scarecrows. and we hear there's missing children, what do you hear?
Again, I'll keep focus.
That's what I hear as well. That's what I've been telling people that have been asking around, or those that. And he kind of looks at both of you for a second, and then notices Coda. He kind of tries to. You can feel like he starts looking to read at you as he says the words, or I tell people that might be interested.
Okay.
Roll me deception checks, the three of you.
What are we deceiving, sorry?
Just to see if you kind of instantly do any facial tics while he's trying to read you guys.
No, not 20 with a +6 modifier.
Oh, wow.
13.
13, cool.
24.
Okay, cool. As he kind of says it and stares at the three of you, you just see his shoulders relax a little bit.
Who was the contact in my place at New Zeraj again?
You generally go see the same person, which isn't the head of your little group, but it's kind of like their right-hand person. It's always the same contact.
Can't remember the
I
name.
can't remember what name you put in.
Can't remember either. Alright, I'll just say I'll just kind of provide the name and
Okay.
say they sent us in your direction looking for assistance in basically resolving the issue.
And that relaxedness that you guys saw instantly tightens again.
I want to keep him on edge.
That's my job.
They are one of the ones that keep an eye on the people. I thought they ought to know. It's not just always kids that have gone missing. There have been several people from the area that have. I don't know if the Scarecrows and the missing are related, but it's strange these occurrences are happening at the same time.
Is there like a specific patch, or is it all over the underfilled town?
The Scarecrows or the people?
Both.
The Scarecrows, there's 2 or 3 farms kind of southeast that have been having problems. The people, it's hard to tell. A couple of, any kind of points indicate kind of 3 or 4 streets over, there's been 2 people missing. Across the other side, there have been 1 or 2, and it's kind of spread.
So is it more kids that have gone missing or adults?
There have been a couple of children, but there's 3 adults as far as I'm aware. I don't always hear everything. There may be more, they may be exaggerated. It's not uncommon for the odd person to go missing from this area. Get drunk in the city, the guards take offence to it, and they look down on us, but...
Can I roll insight when he's like, he doesn't really know more information?
Yeah, of course I
Ask. Hey, what you up to? What you up to? Oh.
6.
6. Cool. Yeah, it seems that he's given you what he can. It kind of correlates with the information that you've been given, so whatever he's told other people, he's also telling you guys.
And why do you care?
This is where I live. If people are going missing, what's going to stop it from being me at some point? I mean, I'm fairly on my toes and can look out for myself, but...
I mean, it's a fair point.
Self-preservation is an important skill.
Is that true?
The way to self-preserve is to make sure there's a herd around you.
True. It's a shame we can't be more specific with the locations.
I mean, I could ask around after work and see if I can get any specifics, but...
How much would it be to get you to ask around now?
That'd be up to him.
Come here. Come here.
If I...
How much do you get paid a day?
silver and a half.
Just gotta give him 2 gold. Just let him off the rest of the day.
So I'll go into the butchers.
Okay.
I'll give him I'll give Zeraj a gold and say, next time you buy, just take time to relax for a little bit.
Thank you. You walk into the butcher's.
We need to borrow him for longer than 5 minutes.
What's he buying?
Don't.
And kind of in the middle of dealing with the customer, instantly kind of very brusque, like, we're busy, I need him for work.
No, you're not.
It's fairly steady.
Let's look around.
You'll survive.
I have seen how you work. You are more than capable of handling this crowd.
Can I, while this is
2 gold should be enough to cover the loss.
But I'm not impressed with this. Make sure he knows that.
I will let him know. It is not his choice, by the way. Be gentle with him.
And as you say that, you go to turn and walk away, you just see this kind of half-toothy smile kind of crawl across his face.
While this is going on, can I try and unlock the doors, go in, and like kind of cut up some stuff so basically he's not at too much of a loss for time?
Yeah, you can take 20 minutes to kind of go around the back.
No, not
try and...
God, not that.
Oh,
long.
just walk through the
Just
front
like-
door and be like,
No, go through the back, but like do about, I don't know, 5 minutes work, and then fuck off.
you can walk around the back of the bird and try and pick the 2 locks, and then try and busy yourself. Okay.
Just very briefly,
Okay.
just so he's not at too much of a loss. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not putting much effort in, but
3
enough,
gold pieces that he's already got.
enough to make a point that he knows that first off, we can walk in and out, and secondly that we're not being we are being dicks about it, but we're also being fair.
Okay.
So.
Alright, you disappear back around the back of the building. You guys have Ziraj.
Okay, Zaraj, you are ours for the day.
He was cool with it.
He was.
Like pure kind of surprise in the eyes, but his mouth kind of, as he was going to go like, oh okay, like tries to flatten it straight out. What do you want me to do?
Ask around. Find the location. Need specifics if we have to investigate further.
Some silver here or there occasionally helps loosen mouths.
I give him 10 silver.
Thank you very much.
Also, prove yourself. We might get you a better job.
Yes.
Where can I get information to you?
Send it to us.
Okay.
Where would you be?
And he
You're not there.
instantly.
Is there a pub nearby?
There's a couple of taverns.
I assume
The
it's in black
diviest
for the
tavern.
conversation.
Yeah.
They are all divey
The
taverns in this area.
diviest one.
That's where I'll be.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
And just kind of just drops onto the main street into the crowd and walks off to gather information for you guys.
So are we going to go set some scarecrows on fire, or...?
When he comes back with some information, yeah. Ooh, I'm going to the pub.
For the first one, are you leaning against it again? Okay, cool. Just, you get advantage on this one because you've already done it once.
Thank you. Okay. 22.
22, cool. Takes you a minute. You miss kind of one of the middle tumblers and then kind of just start again and then it eventually goes. Cool. You open the gate and turn to the door.
20.
20, cool. You start doing it, stand in, 40 seconds go by and then you crouch down, kind of really, and then close your eyes. This is a hard lock. This you don't manage. You don't break your picks, but there's some knack to this that you don't get.
Okay.
It's almost like
For
the
this-
DC's higher for you for everything.
For this part of town, this is weird.
Is there windows?
There are on the top floor, but not on the ground floor.
Did I see
Okay.
anything in the back room while I was standing there? For...
While you were stood there, like there's kind of like the kind of almost like a beaded curtain type thing.
Don't get
So
any glimpses.
no, as the kids were kind of diving in and out, you could see kind of some counters. Occasionally, you'd get kind of a cold breeze come through. Ice is a common kind of fairly expensive in like can be.
Yeah.
But imagine kind of Waterdeep being controlled by the guilds. There's a kind of discount to proprietors of foods that will go off quickly getting ice themselves. Otherwise, a lot of the meat can be salted for kind of preservation purposes.
Go out the window then.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. The alleyways aren't that difficult. Are you relocking the gate?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Padlock back on, and you kind of use the gate to kind of get your way up onto standing on the top of the gate. You kind of shimmy it. Okay, right, that's locked as well. And you can see it kind of. It's one of those where the top
I
doesn't
could do
move, but the bottom would slide up, and the lock's kind of in the middle.
Do I?
So you're gonna have to pull yourself up onto the ledge and kind of stand on the ledge to
Oh, yeah.
Okay, give me a
Well, I
athletics
was
check.
going to.
Is this a back alley or is this just like on a street?
It's a back alley.
Okay, yeah, I'll mention.
Yeah.
I was going to use a basically key point to double my jump,
Okay, cool.
so I can just
That's
just
fine.
go straight up.
Yeah, no, yeah. So you pull yourself up easily, kind of land balance, hold for a second. Cool, feet are planted. Thieves' tools.
There. Yeah. 23.
Cool. You've done these lots loads of times. Pick gets stuck, and then okay, right, shove it in, pull it back out. Okay, go in again. Can't figure it out.
I will cast silence,
Okay.
punch through the window, and unlock it.
Okay, cool. Easy enough. You put your fist through the window. You take 2 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, that's fine.
But absolutely no sound whatsoever. Kind of reach your arm through. You kind of feel the lock, and you're like, it's almost like there's a second lock on it.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's clever. That's weird. And then you kind of unlock them both and slide the window up and find yourself on a second floor. And instantly, kind of the smell hits you. There's pallets on the floor, kind of dirty strewn hay on them with kind of some furs, and the furs haven't been tanned properly, and it's just very overpowering. Looks like several people have kind of almost been squatting here. Roll me an investigation check.
We know nothing. You know he's not going to tell us any of this.
17.
17. Cool. Roll me a stealth check as well, please.
20.
20. Cool. Okay. Moving kind of very slowly, listening for the creaking of floorboards before you put your full weight on it. You've done this before. It's almost second nature for you. Looking around with that investigation roll. The upstairs is mostly 2 rooms, kind of the back room with all the pallets and stuff, and then if you walk into the front room, as it were, there is kind of a table, some chairs, and another couple of pallets, and then a set of stairs that leads back. Kind of looking at, they seem to lead to the back of the shop. So
What's
it leads
with
from the front to the back.
You said there was like leather tans and things.
Yeah, so kind of very basic hides, kind of on pallets that be used as bedding.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Kind of taking your time looking around, you do find a couple of spots of blood here and there with that roll.
Oh shit. Okay. Is there stairs downstairs?
So yeah, they lead from the front room down the side, like kind of the length of the building to the back. And you can hear kind of every now and then the kids kind of doing something, either chopping some meat or opening some chests or something.
Right, I'm going to go down the stairs.
Okay.
Into the.
Roll me another stealth check.
Yeah. 16 plus 7. 23? Is that maths? 23.
23.
Maths.
Okay,
I
cool.
can't remember. I can't do maths.
You get about halfway down, and you kind of put one foot on one stair, and you feel it go a little bit. So you kind of move your foot to the other side. It feels more solid. Keep going down. You get to the bottom, and there is kind of a 5 by 10 foot room corridor at the bottom of the stairs with a door that kind of leads into the main kind of back room, and that's where you can kind of hear the noise of the kind of the kitchen, as it were. The kids kind of cutting meat and bringing it through, wrapping it up. You can hear the crinkle of like paper and satchels being tied.
Okay.
Roll me an investigation check.
22.
22. As you've kind of come down the stairs, you did see every now and then kind of marks of bloodstains on the stairs. Okay. So yeah, Ash and Vondel, you guys headed out first. Separating from the rest of your comrades, they're doing whatever they're doing. You guys head out through the main gates to the field wards. As you step out of the city, it's quite busy, as I said, merchants coming in and out and kind of sell swords. You can see a few groups kind of trailing off the main roads through the fields before you. But you step out and for you, city's not the most comfortable of places. As soon as you step through the gates, you just see It's not perfect nature, but it's definitely outside. You can see fields of some form of grain from this distance, not entirely sure. You can see some that have been turned over. Rotation seems to be kind of in operation here, not so much kind of monoculture. Still very kind of like 4 or 5 plots kind of being rotated. You can see some things starting to sprout. Something that kind of looks like pumpkins almost ready to harvest, or some form of gourds. You see people toiling away, some picking, some ploughing, seeding. A hive of activity, but not massively kind of overcrowded. 4 or 5 people per kind of plot. You can see beasts of burden kind of latched to kind of hitching posts here and there, some with ploughs, oxes, horses, that kind of thing. Small huts. Roll me a history check.
9.
Okay. Not entirely familiar with this kind of method of farming. For you, it's more very simple, self-sustainable. You imagine a lot of people started out like that, and it's kind of slowly grown into communities working. If it was self-subsistence, then it would be a case of whoever ran the farms would live there, but the huts that are there kind of don't look big enough. You could possibly fit 4 or 5 people, so there might be tool sheds, kind of breakout areas, that kind of thing, but you don't think anyone particularly lives out here. But yeah, vast kind of open. You can see forests in the distance, small coppices of trees here and there. You can hear the grunt of pigs off into kind of one distance, and it literally just stretches all down the city wall.
Can I see any scarecrows?
You can see stakes every now and then in the grounds in some of the fields, but no scarecrows in the kind of the immediate vicinity.
I'm gonna. Is there anyone working on land nearby?
Yeah, there's a few people in each kind of plot, either kind of weeding or tilling, seeding, that kind of thing.
I'm going to follow it behind whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Strikes me as a bit odd as why we're having poles without scarecrows on them in the middle of the day. But
I'm gonna head over to one and go.
Okay.
Because they're the farm strippers.
Where are the scarecrows?
You see kind of a woman and 2 children. The one's holding a basket, and the kids are kind of carefully putting seeds in and squashing some earth over it, and then the second one kind of coming on with a little watering can every now and then. Just kind of startled for a second, lost completely in their work, kind of enjoying. You can hear birds kind of tweeting in the skies. It's a little bit cloudy, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain. It's a fairly nice kind of, because you guys are coming into kind of autumn, winter time. It's surprisingly mild. Kind of startles for a second. It's like, everyone's been getting rid of them. There's been issues further down in the south fields, so just be safe. Everyone's got rid of them. It's possibly affect the harvest, but
So they're actually been got rid of rather than any who've disappeared.
Us on the north side have got rid of them. Down south, there was possibly just stories and children messing around. You know what they can be like, but some of the scarecrows apparently have been walking around on their own. But so they might have disappeared, but very quickly, kind of word spread that they should be got rid of.
Fair enough. Do you know how far down south, or is it right down, or just sort of?
Kind of, like she explains kind of via the description
Yeah.
of the field and crops and stuff. It's a good like 3/4 of the way down the city.
Okay.
So you're probably looking at a good kind of mile and a half.
Okay. I'm gonna cast some druidcraft just to improve the chances of the crops doing well,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna thank her and I'll head back into the grounds to sort of meet up this lot to say it could be further down.
Yeah.
Towards.
You head back in, and not too long after, kind of you get kind of halfway back to kind of where you were, and you bump into 3 of your comrades who are heading your way. Yeah, your party fellows.
Well,
I don't quite know if we're at friends stage yet, so you're just
Debatable.
work colleagues.
colleagues.
Yeah.
Colleagues.
Business partners.
Yeah.
Apparently, scarecrows have been disappearing further down that way.
Yeah, we knew that.
Why are you heading up this way?
We weren't. We knew it was south, southeast, of the field ward.
Well, I'm heading that way. You said you're coming up this way. So
Field Ward's on the north
Yeah, but it's the south-east side of that
of
area.
the kind of undercliff. Yeah.
I haven't made that information up. We already knew that information. I didn't make that up, did I?
Yep.
Have I just completely metagame?
No,
I
I,
didn't
no.
No, I
No,
thought we'd heard it.
you just fuck with him, I see.
Yeah, that's where you kind of heard the stories have come from, but that's confirmed that Scarecrows everywhere have gone.
Yep.
But the this kind of side, this close to the Field Ward, doesn't seem to have been having the issues.
Scarecrows just moved home.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So what do the five of you want to do?
What are you doing?
aren't we missing someone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are we waiting for them, or are we just going to go and they can find us?
I didn't think I'm with you, am I?
Yeah, you three, because you guys left.
He's the
After-
one that's sneaking around the house. And
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah, and you guys, after dealing with Ziraj, decided to wander down towards the Field Wards.
I was going to the pub.
Hmm?
I was going to the pub.
Okay, you going there now?
I went for Sirash.
That's fine. So as you three start to head down, Coda says, "I'll catch you guys later." Breaks off.
That's fun.
I will.
Great sound effects of the stray
I
dogs.
know, there's a lot of dogs in this area. A lot of
Instead of
dogs.
scarecrows,
It's a
instead of
sheepdog.
scarecrows, yeah, they've got.
You know what it is? They can smell the meat we've got.
I didn't check what was in that sausage that we gave that guy.
He knew we were going. He sent us there. He knew we were going. It's his fault if we come back and offer him meat from that place and he takes it. Like,
Yeah,
It
to
was-
be fair.
it was a bit of a test on my part. If he'd gone, oh, no thanks, I'll pass on that meat, then, I'd have gone, alright, so will we. But he took it, so,
Fair enough.
anyway, I'm going to the
Some
pub.
people can't be beggars.
But
Can't choose.
he was, though.
Yeah.
So, what we've done is what we are fabulous at doing as a group, is splitting up. With no particular plan.
I plan to have a drink.
I'm going to go with Coda.
Okay, so you guys meet back up halfway. You say what you found. You guys explain what you have found so far, and then you both head off towards the pub.
Yeah, so Raj is going to find us information and meet us in the pub.
Okay.
I'm going to head towards the.
Yeah,
Back out
I'm
to the
gonna,
south,
I'm gonna
yeah.
look for scarecrows.
Okay.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So the three of you guys head back out of the
Yeah.
city.
We split 3 ways.
Yeah. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
keeping you on my toes.
No one, none of us died yet.
I don't know.
Because
Yeah.
I always try to stick with the biggest group.
I'm really
I mean, honestly, in the waterfall incident, I thought at least
Oh,
two of
fuck.
you were going to be goners.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know how you got around that. Like, seriously. So if that didn't kill you, I don't know what's gonna.
Here's a Tarrasque.
We have to fight one each.
At level 4. Yeah.
We're
I mean,
badass
there's a
level.
whole city of guards that may eventually come and help.
Level 4.
Eventually, maybe. Okay, you two give me charisma investigation checks looking for the diviest of dive bars.
Charisma investigation.
Obvious. I thought they were referencing their own.
They're going back to Trollskeep, it's fine.
It's, yeah.
The broken drum.
Wouldn't the low number be actually? Wouldn't the low number
mended drum.
actually be better?
The
for
mended
this?
drum. Yeah, so.
I mean, it's
No,
plus
it's the
5.
broken drum before it was mended.
10.
There was the drum. Then there's the broken drum. Then there's the mended drum.
Was
Then there's
yours
the drum
10 as
again.
well?
Yeah.
We're not going to find the oh damn, we're going to find the good place.
No, I'm going to diver's place.
I was like, wouldn't the low number be better to find the divers? Well,
Well, we're looking for the diviest place, so we're going to find the good place.
Everyone wins.
Okay.
Find a beggar and ask where he drinks.
2 points to
That's
a
what we used to do. When we were teenagers in Worcester, we used to ask the beggars what was the best thing to drink.
Yeah.
We'd be like, what's the best thing to get from Quick Save?
Bit of a,
White lightning.
that's
White
the one.
lightning. Yeah. Kestrel
Because
soup.
they always knew what the cheapest thing was to get you fucked up.
Yeah.
So you go in and you buy a pack and then you give them one. And then you can't get shit faced.
you guys get shown to the Otter's Run.
is that the pub or what they serve?
That's what happens afterwards.
My main concern is they build dams.
That's
Otters Run it is.
Yeah.
I thought otters built underwater ones as well.
Might
Yeah, do. Build lodges, don't they?
Does it look like it's about to
Unless
fall
they're
over?
tree otters.
I mean, no, because the buildings either side of it are holding it up.
That's beautiful.
It's going to fall forward.
Otters have sex.
Oh, well, otters have sex. Beavers
Sex.
build dams.
Beavers don't.
Oh, I got confused with my
Even
otter beaver.
It's the otter beaver mix up.
Yeah. Forever.
It's a daily thing.
I'll never forget which is the beaver.
Looking as rough as the rest of the ward.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't so much a window on the front as kind of just a hole in the wall with two wooden shutter flaps that are currently open. You can see inside it does seem quite dark in there. You can smell kind of very cheap booze kind of wafting out of it. But there is a kind of lively kind of 8 to 10 people inside.
This is the place.
This is the place. I'll get you drink. You've been covering us all day.
No problem. I will try and pencil that money back.
You guys walk in, there's a couple of guys playing cards, a couple of people having meals, and then kind of in one corner, 4 people, one with drums, one with kind of a flute, one with effectively would be some sort of banjo, and then one guy with like
Billies.
with a very kind of simplistic kind of double bass. Not particularly playing a tune, but just kind of like occasionally the odd note mixed in with each other, just testing their tuning and timing, that kind of thing.
So they're a posing band, not actually playing.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, they are the posers.
Cool. We're gonna go get a table.
Yes.
I'll go up to the bar, flick a gold on, and just say keep it coming.
That as soon as it hits the counter, it doesn't even have time to stop rolling before it disappears. And a large craft is brought of ale with 2 big tankards.
Thank you. I'll take that to
That's the table.
the table.
Very, very cloudy beer.
Oh,
It's an IPA that never settles.
It's Otters Run.
I've had better, but it'll work.
Possibly, or no, yeah, you've not had worse.
That's experience. Gotta get experience from
Okay,
life.
you 3 taking a. There are kind of the main road leads out of the city. It does kind of split into several different kind of roads. One north, one kind of east, one kind of south along the wall. Nice gentle stroll down the road. You see people toiling, working. Occasionally, 2 or 3 of them will sit on kind of a cart attached to a horse and kind of start handing out bread and cheese and stuff. Nice, almost idyllic kind of scene and walk. Passing the odd group. Everyone seems to stick to kind of one side of the road going in a particular direction. Seems to be kind of a common courtesy to keep traffic flowing. And if there is a cart, it kind of does have to kind of sit in the middle so people kind of step aside for it to come. But
D&D Beyond's gone down. Don't refresh your page.
Let's find a farmer.
So we're heading south towards the southeast.
Yeah.
Yeah, heading towards where we were advised.
So how far? How far
That sounded
across
painful.
is the? It's quite large, isn't it?
yeah. So you guys came out here, and that's kind of where you started asking your questions, and then met back up with your guys kind of there. So you're following this road, and you suspect kind of based on the directions, it's going to be somewhere kind of around this area. Yeah. She's going to break her nose one of these days.
We just keep heading down till we get to that area then, and
Yeah.
there's a village there, isn't there? Is there a pub in that village that we could ask questions at? Or
That, as you kind of get closer, you notice kind of more more intense kind of population of militia. It's not kind of the city guard. There's no kind of heavy armor. It's more kind of padding and odd bits of leather and stuff on training exercises. It seems to be kind of a outside barracks and probationary training area type arena. A lot of them kind of from your experiences of having had combat and been on the road a lot, there's quite a few that seem fairly fresh to weapons and things. So you imagine this is kind of where they will start their training, kind of when they've been conscripted to the militia. Knowing-ish the rules of the city, you have gathered that everyone kind of has to do their rotation. What do you guys want to do?
We can either go to, if there's a pub there or something like that, and ask some questions there, or just pick a random farm and knock on the door and ask questions.
Let's be out in the field, so go and find a farmer.
Yeah.
We'll go and find someone working in the field again.
Okay, cool. As you kind of get a few hundred feet from kind of Undercroft wall, it's very kind of only about 6.5 foot high, kind of wooden stakes, very kind of basic, but will last unless it's assaulted. So it's not necessarily a temporary structure, but it's not kind of worked stone, permanent, imposing presence.
We'll keep off bandits, but not an army.
Yeah, kind of it'll offer a overview of the area, but it's not designed for like an assault. It's just possibly kind of like, because of its the undercliff and its farms, a small police presence just to keep an eye on things, but won't necessarily get involved as such. Walking into the fields, you see pass 3 or 4 people all toiling away. Most kind of give you a wave in the morning. It's not uncommon to see kind of sellswords such as yourselves, the way you're dressed and carrying yourselves, passing through.
Someone greets good morning, I'll go over and ask them about scarecrows.
Okay. They do say, like...
As I'm talking, I'm doing druidcraft just to improve plants around me.
just basically running your hands through the crops and then making them bigger.
Yeah.
Like that scene in Gladiator where he's...
Scene is now in every fucking movie.
Yeah, there's you can see kind of off in the distance, about 400 feet or so, a kind of coppice of trees, and there was a few fields around there. A murder of ravens. Got that right, didn't I?
Murder crows.
Damn it! That was what I wanted, and I was like, no, it's not crows, it's ravens, but I couldn't think what the collective noun for crows was.
Murder of birds.
Yeah, a group of birds had kind of settled there and were kind of picking for, like, completely stripping fields of anything freshly planted, and they had increased the number of scarecrows in that area. 2 or 3 days later, someone went missing while in one of the fields, and then it was spotted that a couple of the scarecrows had moved during the night. It started freaking people out, and then someone was found dead and with one of the scarecrows broken like next to them, but they could see blood on kind of the hands of the scarecrow and kind of on the mask, the sack head.
Yeah.
After that, they just started burning them.
So there's like nothing, no scarecrows about at the moment then.
How long ago was this?
Within the kind of, it started about a week and a half ago, just shy of that.
Okay.
So about 10.
And they pointed out where it happened.
Yeah, they kind of pointed over to the coppice of trees.
Worth taking a look?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys head over that way. Kind of weaving your way, there are paths kind of around the field, so you don't walk through the crops and stuff. But a lot as you walk along the edges, you can kind of spread your druidcraft up.
Is it a big copse of trees?
Not massive, probably like 50 foot across, and then kind of like 30, 40 foot deep. As you get close, you can see some of them have been chopped down and actually coppiced, allowed to kind of cut and regrow for, you imagine, for either fuel or small construction, that kind of thing.
So as we're reaching the outskirts of the copse, I'm going to cast detect evil and good.
Okay, cool. Well, it's 30 foot range?
30 foot.
Okay, cool. So as you kind of come towards the edge of the trees, you grab your holy symbol and cast. And coming from the centre of this coppice, you do get a feel of something. What are you doing back in the butcher's shop?
I assume I know there are people.
Yeah, you can hear kind of the bead curtain kind of flaps between the front and the back that you saw the kids and Akrog going
I will
through.
head back upstairs,
Okay.
message down to one of the kids, and just like actually, I will double check the blood and see if it's animal or if it's children blood.
Give me a medicine check.
So,
I'm concerned as to how you would know the difference.
15.
Cool.
I think it
I
goes.
hope you don't. Yeah, no.
That's cocaine.
I am
They're doing
half
every movie.
drowned.
Maybe I'm responding to my tweet.
Oh, cool. What is their problem?
Thank you for the report. The team is looking into it right now. To which someone's like, "We're mid-game." I'm like, "So am I."
I haven't refreshed my page,
Don't.
so.
It seems
Don't.
to just be character sheets, but don't do
Okay,
it.
cool. Well, I haven't got character sheets up, obviously. So I'm good.
We can get the rest of it. It's just our character sheets. We can't go up. So don't ask us to do it.
Okay.
How many rolls are you going to make them do?
All the rolls with 0 modifiers.
I know my mods.
I don't.
I know the important ones that I use and guess the ones I don't use.
Yeah.
-2.
Let me just refresh this piece of paper.
Oh,
wait, there you go.
I believe you have to set it on fire.
To refresh
That's not
it.
working.
It does taste definitely blood.
Yeah.
A very kind of metallic, coppery taste to it.
Yeah. I'm drowned feeding the stereotype, it's fine.
You're pretty confident it's humanoid as
Okay.
opposed to kind of bovine, but
How would you know this?
You know.
he's a drow. It's
It's an 8.
No, not a vampire.
well, I don't know.
Oh yeah, right.
But yeah, you're not entirely sure. Your gut says that this, is like there's no reason that this would be kind of animal blood. If they were going to do something, they would have cooked it before bringing it up here. If anyone was spotting and eating.
I'm going to message downstairs to one of the kids and be like, do you guys live upstairs in this place?
Okay. You hear one of the kids drop something. You hear something clatter to the floor, and you hear Akrog kind of start bellowing at one of the kids, and you hear a loud slap. Kids randomly getting messaged like that freaks them out.
Yeah, no, I know. That's literally just confirming what I wanted to check.
Yeah, you hear Akrog shouting, and then you hear kind of scuffles on the floor, and then you hear him going back out, and hear the beads on the curtain kind of crinkle. And you do, after kind of a minute or so, get a response of, because you won't give her the ball. You hear the child. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to go out of the window, cast mending back on the window,
Okay.
and shut it so it looks locked but isn't, and then rejoin these two.
Okay. Give me a dex check.
No, I think I'll probably head to those guys probably because I won't know they're at the pub. I
Yeah.
don't know what pub they're in, but I'll put it that way. Dex check.
Yep.
Yeah. 20.
Cool. So you manage to kind of pick up the main shards of glass, put one in place, cast mending, haven't put them on the windsill, kind of roll me an intelligence check.
14.
Okay. Takes you a minute or so to kind of get the right bits, and you kind of cast mending on them. It's not perfect. There's kind of very small holes where kind of you're missing very kind of small pieces that you could probably pick up and shove in place, and you cast mending and it doesn't quite look perfect. It's not entirely smooth. It's not a bad job. You think at a casual glance no one's going to notice, but if someone was inspecting the window, they probably will pick it up.
There'll be glass inside.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, I know.
And then back onto the window ledge. Get your thieves' tools.
I'm gonna be there for that.
Roll me a thieves' tools check.
I don't want to relock it. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, make sure it looks locked. Yeah, so this is to make sure you pull it to without accidentally locking it.
Oh yeah, like a 26.
Okay, cool. As you're kind of pulling it to, you're like, hey, that you find like kind of one extra kind of tumbler set off from the rest. You're like, that's the one I should have got when I was trying to open it. So you leave that one alone, so it looks kind of perfectly locked, and then drop back down, land on the floor, look around, head out towards the Undercliff Fields, where you think the rest of your party will be. You guys happen to have your time in the pub? Anything you guys want to do while you're there, other than just keep drinking?
Oh well, I wasn't going to get drunk. I was just waiting for Siraj.
Okay.
But I'm going to just support the band a little bit.
Okay.
And, I'm just going to jam with them.
Okay. Cool. So you're going over kind of what instrument you?
They got a shitty bass.
Yeah.
They got a banjo.
Yeah. They got a flute and some drums.
The
With,
violin.
like.
Fiddle.
Okay. Cool.
I'm going to add some effects, special effects, prestidigitation, just to make it a bit more special.
23.
Okay. Performance checks that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Two of them, kind of as you kind of come up and like, hey, can I play with you guys? They're like, yeah, that's we're not really playing, but you can kind of mild jam session. Two of them are really skilled. Like the four of them all know their instruments, but two of them like play very, very well. Same sort of level as you. The other two, they play well, but can't quite keep up. Miss the odd couple of note or whatever. But you do get kind of manage to change songs, kind of mid-key, that kind of thing. Other musical terms that you guys will know that I don't.
They play notes.
Yeah, and sometimes a chord. Check me out.
Occasionally it's forte, occasionally it's piano.
Okay, no, you've lost me.
Aww.
But yeah, no, they're kind of quite jolly. What drums kind of picking up, and that's the kind of guy that will change the beat, trying to catch you out.
Yeah.
And the guy with the flute kind of jumps up on the table, starts playing while kind of like trying to jig. Hampers the performance a little bit every time he kind of takes that extra kind of little leap in the air, but quite amusing. The odd people that are kind of in there do kind of clap along and cheer, and raises the mood significantly.
Sure. Yeah. I'll have a little play.
I'm going to walk around as their groupie,
Yeah.
asking for money from everyone.
It's like
Roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh, come on. I'm fit. Shit, 9.
Okay. Most people are polite enough in how they tell you to get lost. That's the best you do. You get the impression, based on kind of what people are wearing in this tavern, that if people come in to play, they don't expect to be paid and are just kind of doing it to spread their name and reputation.
Oh my god, it's the worst type of artist treatment ever. Just put it on your CV, it's
Exposure.
fine.
Exposure.
Yeah.
Do it for free, I'll put an Instagram post about it.
She's in
That's
with the
true.
large tree.
You three, as you get close to the coppice, see him cast a spell. The eyes kind of widen. There's definitely something in there.
Do I know if it's a creature? Or do you want to check that outside?
Would you like the trident outside?
Not the creature. It
Sure,
detects
sir.
if it was a creature, or if it's consecrated or unconsecrated.
I don't actually have a stuff. So
Clever stuff.
I need to get stuff at some point.
Well, there you go.
Well, your apothecary friends are going to be happy without you having a staff.
Well, I don't actually need one.
You don't detect kind of. Ooh,
We've got to have some wood tonight.
No, we'll do.
yeah, you don't detect any sort of creature. It's just once again that kind of vague essence of evil that you can differentiate between fiend. The kind of
Honestly, what I
creature,
do is magic.
Essence of evil. There's
Yeah.
definitely
That's what she
something
said.
in there.
Would I
Doesn't
know?
feel very big either.
Is that why
Would I
you
know if
have
it's
little
similar
blue
to the
bells?
same sort of feeling I got from
They're definitely good berries.
From
the
the
Bane?
along the same sort of lines, that it's different. in that it's not necessarily kind of like the symbol to some archaic evil, but there's definitely something twisted about it.
There's something in the middle of these Scots. I don't think it's a creature or anything, but there's something evil and slightly twisted as well. You know the symbol of Bane we saw, it just wasn't quite right. I get the same sort of feeling from what's here.
You think it's safe to carry on in without the others, or?
I think we can, because I don't think it's a creature, so I don't think we're going to get like attacked. But I'll leave it up to you two. You,
I
Proceed
just
with.
realised
I'm
I
not
had
great
the
on the
camera
thinking
and me
side.
Proceed
flipping
with-
up there.
Well,
just-
neither am I. I'm a barbarian.
looks like you're doing the
There goes
thinking
human
for us.
motivation.
Oh dear,
There goes human
We've got
motivation.
one abstain and one. If we do get attacked, I'll just wail on it.
13.
Yeah, we have
We
played
can
other
try and sneak
content.
up there a bit, perhaps.
I'm happy to proceed with caution.
Is there any? Is there any sort of like wider entrance to the coppice? Is there any bit that's with the trees further
You
apart?
can see kind of pathways that have been walked as people have kind of gone in to collect wood, or you do see like a small mushroom here or there. So it's it's not
Okay.
unused, but it's not like a regular hang up. But yeah, so there are some paths.
Okay, well, find a wider path so we don't get
Okay.
ambushed or anything like that, and cautiously head in.
Okay.
Okay.
Just roll me stealth checks. You guys aren't necessarily trying to hide your presence. It's just a case of being careful.
Oh, the joy of heavy armor.
Yes.
19 plus 1, 20.
20. Nice.
You just said cad.
Oh,
You said cad.
I didn't say what?
You said cad.
16 plus 2, 18.
9.
Ooh.
That's
So we're stealthy.
That's good 4.
that is, I think, about 4. Nice. Okay. Ash and Thalgor kind of very carefully placing their feet, both of you being outlanders, knowing how to spot kind of terrain that will give away your presence. Vondor quite happily kind of stand still for a second, listen around, take a step, stand on a twig. He tries, bless him.
Yeah, he's very trying.
Yeah. Following kind of, I assume you're given directions as to where.
Yeah, sort of point. Just say sort of
Try and head left.
because we've still
here
got
or right there.
it's up for 10 minutes, so
Yeah.
I know where we're
Where-
moving in relation to it. So
So you guys kind
Steer
of
us.
follow in, and you do find you occasionally there seems to be like trodden bits between most of the trees, but there's always that kind of more heavy trail to like if you want to go to the centre, follow this path, then you can branch off, and you do find you kind of veer off the more heavily trodden routes. You do find yourselves almost dead in the centre of it, and as you kind of step between the trees, you can just see this kind of stick twig amalgamation thing on the floor in the centre, and next to it a leg.
A leg?
Yep.
A human leg, or?
Looks it from where you are.
Okay.
This is not good.
I found a puppy in the pub.
They're designed to keep the rats away. That's why the food's not going to kill you
Yeah.
straight away.
Oh,
Got that tail.
Ash, what you doing?
Not those ones, are they?
No.
Apologies.
What are you guys doing?
Panic.
Does anyone want to go and investigate the twig in the leg?
Can we? Can I tell how old the leg is? Is it like recent or is it been there a while?
I mean, you can get closer and make a medicine check, or you can try and stay away and make a perception check.
Is it
But
Can I-
it'll be different difficulties.
Actually,
Is
it
there
does.
anything I recognise from a religion point of view on the?
It's not a religious symbol as such. Based on what you can kind of see and detect, From where you are, it's more akin to the voodoo doll that you know some of your party members previously had. You don't know kind of like the kind of magics that are on it or what it does, but that's kind of your instinct is kind of along those lines.
I'm going to look at it just from a distance initially.
Okay, roll me a perception check then.
20.
Okay. Looking at it, pretty sure there are teeth marks. Yeah, that looks like a tooth mark. Based on kind of what you can see at the end of the leg and the smell, probably a week or so, maybe a little bit longer.
Possibly the body that was discovered before, or possibly that sort of time period.
That sort of time period, yes.
That's been that's bitten. That's been bitten. Someone's been eating that. I'm going to take a look around us.
Okay.
Any sort of
Roll me another perception check then.
I'm still not getting anything off the.
24.
It's not going to take us 10 minutes to talk.
No,
Center,
wait.
is it?
It's literally whatever you were detecting is
Yeah.
that little stick thing, whatever that is.
So I'm taking it with.
24.
24.
You guys approaching it?
I'll take a couple of steps closer.
Okay. Also roll me a perception check.
Uh, 21.
Cool. You staying?
Yeah,
with Ash?
I'll go forward as well.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
No. 4.
4. Okay. You step forward and you're kind of looking around, kind of doing you're almost taking that bouncer mentality that you use in your tavern. Kind of like, I'm looking around lots, but not really seeing anything. For you guys, where you are, you do see a small burrow tunnel, some tracks. Is that? Pretty sure that's an arm over there, kind of just against a tree. As you kind of take those few steps closer, you hear Ash kind of, "What is that?" And you kind of look and, yeah, that's an arm. And you can see again another burrow hole kind of next to it.
How big a burrow?
Kind of giant badger sort of size, the same sort of size that Ash made when he dug into the grave in the graveyard.
I would suggest backing away, guys, just for...
You don't fancy turning into a badger and going down and having a look?
After what happened last time? No.
Okay.
Are you guys stepping any closer? Are you investigating any of it? What are you doing?
She wants that tree. I think that's what she's been worrying that the entire time is to get that tree.
So it's elaborate.
You
fetch
heading
over.
out of the city. You step out. You see people working in the farms. You're pretty sure it was south direction. I'm sure that's where the guys would have been heading.
I'll quickly
Just
ask
get him in there.
someone that's nearby. You know, have you seen
Have you seen
a druid,
these
a
guys?
barbarian, and a surprising cleric?
Stop, Joe.
They've
Not very
walked
Have you seen a
into
dwarf
a
with
bar.
no? Have you seen a dwarf with no beard? That question seems to like cover you guys quite a lot when you're in this city.
You've seen a
It's
dwarf
starting
with
to
no
go
beard.
in.
Someone who looks like they would set you on fire and laugh about it.
Which one of that?
Surprise, surprise. Someone who,
I look very appealing.
apologies, someone who would probably try and take you off a cliff and say they would save you and don't.
You do kind of after a few minutes of. I've seen a couple of them. They were heading down that
I
way.
never saw this
They're
weekend.
investigating the Scarecrow ship.
I will use all my movement to go as quickly as I
Raining all
physically
weekend
can
anyway.
Cool. Yeah.
to just like GTFO that way.
Just
I'm
monk
really
it
not
down.
happy, yeah.
You're like, I used to do this back in a mile, nothing. Like 5-mile runs. I can do that in my sleep. What are you guys doing in the coppice?
Me?
No.
We can try and destroy this thing. Don't know what's going to come out if we do.
What if you tried to fireball this stick thing?
I'll keep. Sacred Flame might be better. It's got the holy.
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye on the burrows.
Okay.
This week's
Cool.
Is it just the two? Is it just the two burrows we found? So
They're all like,
Fuck it.
Yeah.
So far.
yeah,
So
they're
far.
all like awful. So what do they? We're like,
I might sort of take a walk around the object.
Okay.
So spending my time looking at the object from different angles and also
team pocket.
around the outside as well.
Okay. Cool. Going left or right.
So when, from where I go in, sort of go round to the left and round, and then just sort of in a loop to back where I started.
Cool. Okay. What are you
I
two going
would
to be doing?
cannonball into that hole right now.
Well, I've always suggested we sort of back away, but then if I ignore it, I'm just going to sort of hold ready.
Okay, yeah, you just see a small. The forest gets a little bit brighter as Ash kind of. You see the glow between his fingers, and you're like,
It's not a full flame, but it's
yeah,
it's
there.
it'll be
say-
instantaneous.
Did you say the arm is one of the trees on the
Almost
outskirts?
kind of on the opposite side of where you guys started. It was only as kind of with the high perception from Ash, but as you guys took that step forward, that allowed you
Well,
guys
I'll
to
I'll
see.
walk round to see if I can get to the arms.
To the left or the right?
I'll go to the right because you
Okay.
just get around the left.
Yeah, so you leave Ash stood there, kind of twitching on as you guys loop round. You get about a third of the way round. Roll me perception checks, all three of you.
I don't know how, but that is
That is cocked.
that is balanced right in the middle.
That is that's wow.
Oh shit!
How did you get it that much?
Fucking impression.
I was like, I looked at it, it was like 1, and then I was like, no, it's 19. No.
That's.
I mean, of all the ways.
No, don't touch it.
You know what? I've seen some impressive
Yeah.
cocks in my life.
You're welcome.
She's talking about it.
Wasn't
Where
Yeah, I was going to say my personality.
Wow. Okay, yeah, cool. You get to re-roll that.
I mean, of all the ways to do it without any dice there either.
Can we have a photo of
perception.
that so we can just put it on the screen?
8.
Eight.
23.
23.
5.
I don't know, like,
Cool.
like hole in the
Um,
table, it's like one of those people.
Being the only one that
Those
notices,
movies you watch.
as soon as they kind of get a third of the way around each, you just see movement and you get to throw your fireball, your produce flame.
Throw a fireball, see what happens.
It's 11 plus something. I'm not adding to it.
One shot I did for the.
Plus 6 or 17.
Cool, yeah, that hits. You see movement, and you just
You don't
instantly
drink
kind of
drink
release
drink
it.
I know
As
he's
you
the
look,
bug.
following
Just
your
lock.
produce flame, you see this kind of
What-
humanoid,
necklace of
bipedal
fireballs
head arms,
4
but made of
beads on
just
it.
vines
into the middle
and
with him and the
twigs.
bard.
How much damage do you do?
Wiped him out.
5.
5 fire damage.
Fire damage.
Cool. Okay.
My other game, like, we had a combat. And the
Can you
mage in our
re-roll me
party-
initiative, please?
The mage in our party did more damage to the other party members than the monster did.
I've done it.
That's impressive.
You get like an ice item.
That's not where you
So
want it,
good, but
though.
also like a waste.
Yeah.
Can I get another drink, please?
Pepsi.
Yeah, please.
21 else? Have a 20 plus 1.
I'm alright, Lamb, thanks.
21.
Alright, I'll probably go
Yeah.
for one, yeah. If that's
Okay,
okay.
right.
So-
I'm fine, thanks. 2.
I think you're like 14 back, so I'll get a drink.
Can I get all the raspberries?
Oi, trouble.
That's a good idea.
4 actually.
Oi.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, only likes being licked in the face. I really don't. I don't even let my own dog lick me.
No, you don't.
I'm
Your
horrified.
dog has really sloppy kisses, though.
He's not as
Yeah.
bad as he used to be.
Oh, isn't he? Oh, that's alright.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm
That's why
fine,
I
thanks.
feel like
He
I have
very
to-
rarely licks now, to be honest.
Yeah. He's very good. He
Okay.
doesn't lick for attention. He sits.
Oh, that's good.
But he's learning to.
Ash, you're up first. After you fired at the one, you see 2 others kind of sprout up. One's directly opposite between these 2, and then there's kind of one right next to either of them. Both of them, even.
Do I know what these things are?
You know they're. Give me a nature check.
21.
Nice. Corruption can take many forms, but corruption of nature can result in blights that form from the plants and vegetation around. There are a couple of different types. Needle and twig blights, generally small, harassing, down. Don't go
Yes.
for the D4. Yeah, they're kind of more of a nuisance than anything. But Vine Blight's the one that you hit. They're significantly stronger. And the problem is people fall over them more than anything because when they're just in their natural habitat and not moving, nigh on
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why I can't say that word now. From kind of the vegetation around
That's
it.
what
Indistinguishable.
That's the one. Still playing.
On camera.
You can't tell the difference.
Yeah, that's you can't tell the difference. So what do you want to do?
Just wait a second.
Vondel, you'll be second. You're after Ash.
How close is everything to each other?
So from where you are, it's probably 10 foot to Vondel and Thaldor, and then the monsters are kind of directly behind them, so about 15 foot, and then kind of 15 foot to the across to the other one.
It's been fun to write it because I got my notes. It's fun to go back and write a little synopsis. I have an episode called I Choose You. They got 30 girls, they got bag of girls, and they were fighting hags.
I'm going to drop a flaming sphere on the one I've already hit with a fire. It's a 5 foot diameter, so not to damage these two, but
That's fine. Okay, so, yeah, okay. Dex.
dex saving throw.
That is going to all kinds of fail.
Cool. That is 2d6.
Actually,
So that's 5.
Okay.
And it's any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must take a. It's a 5 foot sphere with a 5 foot
Radius around it.
So it hits
So
the
directly
radius.
behind. So you want to
Yeah.
cast it behind.
So not
that it
damaging
only
these
affects-
two.
Yeah. Cool. That's fine. Vondel, you're up. So there's one literally directly behind you. You just see a flaming sphere appear behind the creature that's behind Valgor on the other side of this small little clearing. that you are.
Is the one in melee range of me?
Yeah, literally, it's directly behind you.
yes, you do.
My friends have advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature hostile to me.
Oh, sweet, yeah.
Is that in,
Take with a lot.
within a
Oh mate. Oh, we should
range or
change
maybe just
Oh my
everyone?
Why would you split the part?
Is there a radius? Or
I don't know. Probably in the handbook
I
somewhere.
don't
What,
It's
we-
the
what-
wolf.
If anything, it's 5 foot.
Either way, I think it's going to
It's
be
gonna cover you
gonna
guys.
be within
Yeah.
range.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are you doing? Vondel.
Spin. I'll probably have had my mace out.
Okay, so while you're raiding this, while you're raiding,
Oh, is it while I'm raging? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd probably have the mace out and the shield. So spin around with a mace, clock it one.
Cool. Okay, roll your attack roll.
Go for
Okay,
the
so
most
they-
bitch
they-
slap.
they have advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature within 5 feet of you that's not up to you. When they pile on that creature, they get advantage.
21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Vegas' pack tactics.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's the wolf token.
You just figured that out as well.
That's it's 1d6 plus strength.
What kind of D?
Is for 6.
What do you
6.
It's just 1d6 plus strength.
Strength.
isn't it?
Yeah.
6.
Okie dokie. Cool. That your turn? Anything as bonus action?
If I cast, is that going to provoke a?
Depends if it's an attack roll or if it makes a saving throw. If you cast for an attack roll on that creature, then yes, you'll get an attack roll.
So spiritual weapon. If I cast that,
That's fine.
yeah, I'll cast spiritual weapon, and that will
Okie
also
dokie.
get an attack on it.
Yes, it will roll that attack roll.
That's going to be 20 to hit non-natural.
Yep.
If we were, we'd have put all this in.
1d8.
I really want to find what this fucking does.
It's just
Die
6.
and reroll all it does.
Okie dokie.
Take a level in
Lowest it can be.
find out.
6 to hit or 6 damage.
6 damage. It's 20 to hit.
Oh yeah.
The evil warlock.
Sorry, I was thinking ahead. Cool. So the one that's directly opposite Ash between you guys is gonna
I am pure
swerve away from the fire towards you. What's your AC?
19.
Cool. That misses. You are being flanked, so they have advantage. That definitely hits. So that's a natural 19.
Yeah, that's a little on the evil side, isn't it? It's not as much neutral about that. To be fair.
That is as low as possible. You take 3 piercing damage from that attack. That misses. That's going
I think
to hit.
we're both better neutral, but I'm
Ooh, that one's significantly more. 8 piercing damage from that one. Is these 2 creatures, one made of small kind of pine needles and twigs and leaves, the other one predominantly kind of like sticks and branches, just both kind of just slashing, trying to punch you as the twigs kind of penetrate joints between your armour. And the one that's on fire is going to move away from the fire, but stay in contact with you because it's going to want to attack you. That's a natural 19 plus 4. That's 23 to hit. Does that hit you?
Armor class is 13.
13, cool, so that definitely hits.
It's the only innocent.
Oh, that was quite low. You take 8 bludgeoning damage. As it stands there, it swings its arm and these vines extend and wrap around you. Make a strength saving throw, please.
I think she's got the tray again.
Nat 1 plus strength is 3.
Okay, cool.
Are you waiting?
No, not yet. He's
Oh,
not.
I was gonna
You
say.
find yourself grappled as these vines wrap around you and kind of pin one of your arms to your side.
Yeah.
That's their go. So, Falgor, it's yours.
Okay. I'm going to try and hopefully which
Rage.
oh, yeah, we're going to rage. Yeah. Roger, the French one.
Okay.
Yeah, going to
So
rage.
you're going to rage, yeah? You've
Yep.
got this vine creature kind of
Yep.
stood in front of you. It's taken some hits from Ash, and you've got the heat. Sorry. I thought it was cold metal for a second, and I was like, what's that? Because it's just damp.
I believe it's a broken
Yep.
stick.
3.
It's really
If that
soggy.
goes
It is
outside,
really
she will
soggy.
keep moaning to go
Um,
outside for it.
If you chuck it
Behind
to the
curtain in
front, to the
corner.
fence,
She will still be moaning about it.
yeah. But you won't
Yeah,
be
you've
able
got
to get
this
it.
heat kind of not far behind you from Ash's kind of flaming sphere.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to take a swing at it and see if I can smash it back towards the heat if I can.
I believe
So
it's
you
a
with a great sword.
You can only use a baguette for battle.
Oh, if you're a French barbarian.
Yeah, it's known as the battle baguette.
Or a bolus made of onions.
It's true.
The trick is to use dwarven bread, and it works really well.
That's cool. That's fine.
The battlet.
Back left.
Are you gonna try and like hook it,
Click on
and push it
that.
kind
Yeah.
of through your space? Okay,
Yeah.
roll me an athletics check. You get advantage because you're raging.
Okay.
Kill it with fire.
16.
It fails. Yeah, you don't do any kind of damage to it, but you do kind of grab it with the axe and shove it into the flame. It takes fire damage from the flaming sphere.
5.
Okay. You can see parts of it just kind of singeing, fire catching on kind of like its leg and its hip area, and you see parts of the vines just dropping off and shriveling. Shoving it into that seriously hurt. That your go, yeah?
Yep.
Sweet, back to the top. Ash.
One of them's in the sphere,
Yeah, you've got the vine one in the sphere that was attacking.
so I
Falgor.
will leave it to burn.
Okay.
Can I cast a cantrip while I've got a concentration spell going?
Yeah, you can cast any spell that's not concentration.
Then I use produce flame and aim at one of the ones fighting.
Okay.
So, that's, yeah, 11. To
Doesn't hit. You can see them kind of battering away at Thalgor, and you could kind of try and time it so one of them kind of as it swings back and you throw and it just hits moving and glances past its shoulder blade, unfortunately. That's your go. Vondel, you're up.
As a bonus action, I'd like to activate Blade Ward
Okay.
from the Soldier's Trinket. And then the one I hit before, I'm just going to smack again.
Okie dokie.
Oh shit, that's gonna be an 8 to hit.
As you kind of go and swing, it kind of like, almost kind of like melds into the tree kind of next to it, and you just hit the tree, not hitting it. Before it steps back out.
Do I move and provoke the opportunity attacks, or just? Yeah, I'm gonna try and move away towards Thargar.
Okie dokie. They each take a strike on you.
Yeah.
What's Blade Ward do? Give them
No, I think it's
resistance to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing.
Cool. One of them hits out of their attacks. You take 6 damage.
Is that with the resistance or not?
No, half to 3. It is their turn. They are both going to move towards you. They both miss. They're no longer flanking you, so they don't get advantage. They both kind of just march towards you. The one that is on fire is going to move out of the flame. It's not going to move out of the additional 5 foot, but it thinks it's safe because it's not actually in the fire. So at the end of its turn, it will take the damage. It will use that. Can all 3 of you make me a strength saving throw, please?
If you're raging, you've got advantage.
Yes, sir.
16.
You pass.
17.
You pass.
12.
Just pass. You can see the ground kind of shakes and vibrates. You see these vines kind of emanate from the floor. Some of them sprout kind of thorns. And they try and grab onto you, and you guys just bat them all away and stamp them to the ground. That would have been quite nasty had it done that. That's the end of their go. It takes the damage from the flaming sphere.
8.
It just shrieks as it burns to a crisp and falls to the floor. You are no longer grappled. Back to the top. Ash, your go.
Did you?
Oh, no, it is your go. Sorry, yes.
Well, I'm going to go towards Vondel now and see if I can
Help him out.
yeah.
Batter. Cool.
So-
There's one that's looking significantly damaged, like it's missing one of its arms and one of its legs seems to be kind of broken in, and the other one seems to be fairly untouched.
Well, I'll go for the.
More legs broken.
I'll go for the one that looks.
Do they appear vulnerable to fire?
They seem to. That one went down pretty quickly.
I'll go for the one that looks injured and take a swing at it with the great sword.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, definitely take the first one there. So let's
Should be up.
get +8 on the rage. Is that 25?
So I don't know what rage.
Yeah.
It'll be your attack modifier will be one of those. So I'm guessing if that's
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
great
so-
sword, it'll be plus 4.
21.
21. Yeah, that definitely hits. Roll your damage for me.
Yeah, that's 2d6. 10.
Nice. You go for the injured one, seeing one of the legs still kind of mostly functioning, straight through with the sword, kind of hack it right at the kind of the hip joint, and it just collapses and breaks apart into a pile of twigs.
Awesome.
That's both of those 2 down. There's just one left. You 2 kind of facing against it. You can see it kind of thinking about backing up. You can see it kind of glance for a second. The tree it melded into earlier, kind of from nearby. What do you do?
Move the sphere.
Okay.
So I should be able to either move it round to avoid them or just get it. So it's
Yeah, you
behind
can kind
us.
of just go straight through the centre if you want to.
Yeah, but it won't damage them if it's moved still.
No.
Yeah. So move it basically behind the thing,
Okay.
the line blight.
Yep.
And which that's a bonus action. So then I'll also try and hit it with a.
Produce flame.
Produce flame.
Okay, roll your attack roll. You get advantage because it's within 5 feet of him. Oh no, it's only melee attacks, isn't it?
That's 15.
15.
No, 14. Sorry.
Yeah, that hits.
No, 15. Sorry, I can't count.
Basically means they don't have to be flanking.
You also get advantage.
Just my mind's going. 3 damage.
Okie dokie, that's sweet. Vondel, you're up.
As my bonus action, I'd like to move the spiritual weapon up
Yep.
and attack.
Okay.
Does that count as a melee attack? Is it a melee spell attack or not?
Does it specify melee weapon attack on Wolf Totem? Melee attack in that case. It
I
will.
believe, but don't quote me on that. I haven't read the
That's
book.
fine. I'll allow it.
Rose isn't far off, I think.
Melee attack rolls.
Yeah. Sweet.
Oh my god.
Oh,
flip
for fuck's
phones
sake.
at advantage. Oh shit.
Yeah, so the highest one of those is going to be 13.
That does hit.
Oh, it
That?
does. 1d8. 5, so it's going to be
So was it apologies?
so 10 damage.
10 damage. Shit. Cool.
And then I'll strike at it with my mace.
Alright.
Oh, for fuck's sake, 10.
Does not hit. You kind of, as you move the spiritual weapon, it kind of goes to try and meld with another tree, and that movement puts you off as you kind of strike with your mace. It is. Yeah, its survival instinct is strong enough. It's going to try and flee. You two will get attacks of opportunity.
Are those at advantage?
Yes, they are.
Nice.
Right, attack rolls.
That's a bit better. That's going to be 23.
Ooh, that's not.
No, 7 and 6.
Not quite prepared for it to back away. You're ready to just barrel into it. It kind of moves you like, what?
You only had +4.
Yeah.
So 9 points of damage.
9 points
Yeah.
of damage.
Yeah, you are.
Finishing that off.
It's dead.
Danger. Yeah.
Dead.
He just.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to drop Flaming Sphere.
No,
Okay.
move it onto the totem.
No, I'm going to drop it and then put out any flames that are caused.
You can see kind of smouldering in sections.
Yeah, I'm going to control flames just to.
Kill it down.
Because that's the kind of trap.
Okay, cool. You just see ash kind of freak like. Just, you see the smoke slowly start to
enough.
dissipate. As you're kind of running along, you do see this flash of fire in this set of trees ahead of you. Kind of quickly asking, like, "Have you seen these people?" They're like, "Yeah." They went, "Is that a fire?" You're like, "Ah, I'm sure it'll be fine." Roll me a persuasion check.
Not me.
Yeah.
Don't you know what persuasion is in that?
Oh, sorry, yes. Fell over.
20?
Okay, yeah, you calm them down, convince them that they're your friends, and
fine.
it's nothing to worry about.
No,
I mean,
no,
they
it's
control
fine.
flames all the time.
It's a fucking barbecue. Talking about, we bought dinosaur steaks, they're just cooking it up.
And you guys, as you're finishing putting out your flames, you two kind of like just kicking the piles of twigs and vines, making sure they definitely are. Okay, cool, yeah, it's fine. You just see.
Can I turn around and sacred flame onto the totem?
You can, yeah. Roll me a quick perception check as you run into this coppice. You see your three pie members there, and just this sacred flame appears in the centre.
16.
Cool. For that split second, you're like, "Is that the? I think I found that. That. It's up to you if you keep quiet about it. You vaguely recognise what it is.
About what, sorry?
You know that you were taking a shipment to a logging,
The bad luck item.
and you found a little
Ah, fuck.
thing that attracts stuff,
Yeah.
and all the rats were converging on one part of the city, and then they seem to move and disperse
And
thing-
where is it in the...
in the little coppice of trees outside. In the
Oh shit.
Currently under a sacred flame descent.
roll your damage on that for me.
I mean, that's an 8.
Yeah, you just. And then when it drops, you just see this small pile of ash.
I take it the detect evil and good still
Is
up? 10
sacred
minutes.
weapon of concentration?
Oh yes, it will be, won't it?
I'm sure it
I
is.
think.
Sacred one.
Spiritual weapon, no.
No,
it's not.
it's
It's
not.
an action cast.
Cool. In that case, yes,
Bonus
it's
action.
still up, and you feel the magic kind of slowly fade.
Can I go have a look at the leg? Just see if it's, linked to whoever we had the item last.
Yeah, give an investigation check. you guys kind of after the battle, you just see the sacred flame appear in the center. The totem disappeared, and your party member just kind of casually walks in and bends down and investigates the leg.
I'm going to have a look at the vine blight and see if I get some, basically some cuttings.
Okay.
It's a plant.
Yeah, no, fair. I mean, there's not a massive amount left.
It's probably the non-burnt ones.
After you annihilate it. Okay, so the two smaller kind of twig and needle ones. That's fine. You can. It's not so much you needn't take cuttings. You can just pick bits of them up. That's no problem at all.
Have an investigation into them later.
That's cool. Yeah. The leg, kind of not so much. It's just generic leg and boot.
That's fine.
But with that perception, you didn't see the arm that these three know about.
Should we bury the bits we've found?
We could shove them down the holes and then kick some leaves in.
Sorry, bits.
There's an arm over there.
As Thalgor says about kicking them in the holes, you kind of notice one burrow kind of just off to the side.
There's no rings on the fingers or anything like that, are there?
You pick it up, you kind of look. No rings on the finger. You do see kind of like a leather kind of almost like a vanguard on kind of like the forearm.
Vanguard, can you?
Just unlace that.
Do you want me to just
I was going to say
check underneath see if there's a
tattoos
tattoo or
and
something?
Okay, cool. As you kind of like turn the arm over to go and unlace it, you do see a tattoo on the arm.
You recognise this?
I think you recognise that as well.
All of you recognise the flying snake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the answer to your question that you have in your head is, yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you fuck up?
I didn't fuck up. I fucked this guy up. I unintentionally, kind of intentionally fucked this guy up because I may have, the creepy doll that gives
I'm
blood.
aware.
Yeah, well, I gave it to him.
Uh-huh.
Now he's
Well,
dead.
we're not aware, but yeah, we all remember.
Yeah, so you unstrap it. It's fairly well made. It's seen some use, quite kind of dented and scratched, but it's quite a nice accessory.
Yeah.
Won't offer much protection, if any, but you could
Yeah.
give it for style or give it away if you wanted.
Yeah.
Sell it later,
I
maybe.
love that, yeah.
So you have yourself a black leather vanguard.
Cool. We'll sell that.
Nice bit
So
of
what
bone.
are you doing with the leg and the arm?
As you said, barbecue now.
Well,
Find
know-
something that costs
know a
like
butcher.
an arm.
Hey.
I mean, would a pyre be best?
Don't bring it to us, we'll just play with it.
Give me 15. It's an old red dwarf joke, but it was appropriate.
Is it just the arm and the leg that we can find?
Yeah. You do see kind of, as you look around, you do see kind of patches of darkened dirt at the edge of the holes. You can surmise that things were attracted to this area for a reason and found a dude and dragged bits of him home.
Can I just search the area just in case there's anything else we've missed?
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception or investigation, whichever's higher.
Right, 9.
Okay. You look around, kick a few piles of leaves, occasionally stamp on some just to make sure that they're not creatures. You don't seem to have missed anything. Seem to have solved some problem.
So, what do we want to do with the bits? We can
I think we just
bury, post it, burn.
burn it.
Can I say post it?
Oh, there are holes. They took the fucking rest of it. It's an option.
Post it to your worst enemy.
Fill a
Ash,
box.
would you mind? And I'll just say a few words while while they're burning. I hope that these find their original
The
owner.
smell of pork fills the air, and it's been a while since breakfast.
It's a shame Kodra gave away those sausages.
No idea.
Haven't you still got stakes though?
I have got the stakes.
Yeah. As Vondel says a few words, muttering to Coralon, asking for forgiveness for any sins the original person may have produced in their life.
Yeah, I know.
Forgive this right arm.
Assuming the rest of the corpse, well, the rest of the
I
body is
believe
dead.
that's in relation. I believe that's in relation to the posh wank mentioned before. I will, while the things being spoken, I will relay what I found in the butcher
Okay.
to the party because I'm not happy about that.
Okay. So you three get the information of the findings in the upstairs of the butchers.
And also, we need to do something about that at some point because that's uncomfortable.
Yes.
I'm drunk and dancing.
Cool. Yeah. How are you two doing?
Drunk and dancing.
Okay, cool. Roll me 2 con saves, please.
I'm playing music to keep her dancing.
Huh?
I'm just playing music to keep her
drunk.
dancing.
I don't think my constitution's high. That is a base of an 8 and a 6.
8 and a
With
6.
a plus 2, so a 10 and an 8.
A 10 and an 8. Cool. So yeah, very quickly you're drunk. Not too long after, you are violently sick.
Otter's runny.
Yeah, it is gut rot of an ale.
Otter's Run.
It's entirely up to you if you keep drinking past this point.
Yeah,
Can't be done under the trade descriptions. That.
No, certainly cannot.
Yeah.
The guys, after kind of a couple of, about 45 minutes to an hour, kind of thank you for playing along with them. You do get the group's name. Give me a sec. I need a different file.
I carry on dancing even when they've stopped.
I already assumed that quite.
I believe it's Van Halen.
Cartail.
Sparrow Hawkstorm
Nice.
is the name of the band.
Actually, it's a pretty damn good band name.
Thanks.
Band from Otter's Run.
Important characters for later.
Well, they're good. I can play that one. I will order some food for our
Okay.
table. A lot of really high carby food.
Bread,
Yeah.
cheese,
Yeah.
wet bread.
Well done.
Yeah.
Bowl of kind of very watery gravy gets brought out, kind of on a platter with some breads and cheeses for you to kind of.
Does Coda invent a kebab at this
There's no meat in the kind of watery gravy. The bread's a little bit stale, so you imagine that it's just to kind of soak the bread to make it edible at this point. But it's not untasty. It's kind of a little bit bland.
I'll put some of my spices in.
Yeah, I assumed you would.
And I'll just push it in front of Nisra.
Surprisingly, it's alright. I mean, mixed with the weird taste of gut rot ale and bile that's in your throat, it's a little bit strange. But, you imagine the food itself is actually surprisingly okay.
Remember, like, the day after?
Yes. I don't remember the day. I remember the day after.
And we shall take a little break there.
We're just having a chat.
So yeah, you guys rejoin up at the Otter's Run. Nisra is
Feeling
dancing
better?
around to absolutely no music. There is a half-eaten plate
you
of
get your
bread,
mic
cheese, and watered gravy on the table.
God knows. I woke up one day and went poof.
It was gifted to.
I don't know.
Ernie hasn't written a backstory yet.
I have.
She has. It's a whole paragraph.
Holy fuck! This is the first character you've ever written a backstory for. Feel impressed. Shit.
Super detailed.
I'm sure.
Really not.
I work in a shop. I broke things. I ran away.
Yeah, pretty much.
That sounds about right.
You just woke up and you didn't question where it came from? No, would
It was fun.
you? It is. Magic is very fun.
Makes them go boom, and then you're like, hey. Why?
I'm just wondering.
Well, wait to get yours.
Chaotic.
I'll get my song.
That's weird.
I'll learn mine. I'll learn my spells.
That sounds like effort.
It is. But it's music, so it's fun. It's fine. It's not like I'm not putting a wizard.
Yeah.
That'd be boring when you're
That's
stuck in a
so
fucking
dull.
tower learning, reading books all day.
Alright.
Who wants that?
God knows.
I was just wondering where you got yours.
I have no idea. It's a little like I made a friend.
Yeah. He's whining as much as you were when you were vomiting just a second ago.
I was not whining. I was singing through the vomit.
Wow.
I can appreciate
The
the
musical effect on that.
I believe it's called a dirge.
It's not purge, then a dirge.
I hope the group are alright.
Oh, that'll be fine. What's the worst they could have got me to?
I don't know.
I don't even know where they went.
They went to look for Scarecrows. Remember? That was what we were going to do today before we stopped for drinks.
Has that friend come in yet?
No. I think we have a problem.
I think she just wants
Why?
to stick.
Yeah.
No, I think we drink too much.
I don't think she actually needs to. I think she just wants to.
There is no such thing as drinking too much.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Oh, look at there. Dago! Over here.
Hey,
Hey, you're back!
we killed these 3 plant things.
Aw. We had fun with others. What plant things?
They were sort of big and they had sticks and vines that sort of wrap round. He probably knows better.
Vine blights.
Okay.
Yeah, we killed them.
Oh, good. I'm glad. And you're alright?
Yeah. Bit of damage, but
I think it's the reason for the might be the right reason for the scarecrows.
Did you find any scarecrows?
No, but it was the area where the all the problems for the reason for removing the scarecrows.
we found an arm and a leg as well.
Where are they?
We burnt it.
Oh.
It was a Zentarin, whatever they were doing there.
Yes.
Are we staying here long enough to take a short rest?
Yeah, you guys.
Don't to drink.
You've got no other plans.
I might.
Coda's waiting for Ziraj to come back and report, so you guys can easily spend a couple of hours doing that.
I will fill you in. I need your help.
Okay.
You pissed off? Why did you go?
You can choose to take
Butcher.
more hit dice after you've rolled. can't you?
Yeah. I don't think he looks after his workers.
Sure. What do
In
they have to do with workers?
a worse sense.
Okay.
Does he eat them?
9, so that would have been 13.
Past him.
I probably would have stopped.
I mean,
If
I,
I'd rolled that. Is that alright?
Yeah.
How far away are we
found
from the butchers?
myself inside.
Found
And
Probably
yourself inside.
5-6 streets over.
inside the butchers,
But
I'm
kind
gonna
of
go to the
upstairs,
butchers.
you know,
Okay.
as you do.
It's a
And
good like 15-minute walk. Like
horrendous
the
blood
blocks,
trail
the
of
kind of city
humanoids.
blocks are quite big and packed.
And
I'm gonna head over there.
he
Did you take any
basically
damage?
abused his
Yeah, I took a
child
bit.
worker.
What do I
that
roll
dropped
for?
away.
If you want to,
Yeah,
D12.
Yeah.
Like,
So you've got up to 4 D12 you can use.
I mean, that's not
Yeah.
my problem.
You can
No,
roll
I'm
one
asking
and then see
for
what it
some
gives you, and then roll
assistance
another one if you want.
potential
Roll it in
electric
Roll it
education.
as
fire.
your con modifier, which is +1.
Yeah. Okay.
So
do you want
that's
to have
6.
Want to have a look?
So that'll take you. Hey, sweetheart.
Hello. All right.
I mean,
That took me to
35.
So
It's up to you if you want to.
take a look
I'll
at
just
the
do
work.
another one. and-
There's a way up.
So
The window. I've left the window.
Yeah, so
open,
you're back to
but
full.
looking like it's shut.
And if you
Like,
mark off, so you've used 2 of your 4 on there.
no one knows I was there.
On there, yeah.
so-
No one will see us.
that one, yeah.
Yeah.
They might not see you.
Sure. However you want to do it.
So
really.
as you guys got a few minutes into the conversation of like catching up and you know.
Oh yeah, she's gone.
Yeah.
We noticed her. We're like, I wonder where she's gone. I know where she's gone.
Yeah, we know
Passing information between you guys. The kind of guy behind the bar comes over and says, "Do you guys need a drink?" And then just kind of looks at you and that's going to cost to clear up. And then looks back at you guys to see if you want drinks.
Oh shit, it wasn't the toilet.
Precipitate it.
Okay. There you go. Nice. You guys want an ale? There is
Yeah, I
an
think so.
empty gallon carafe.
Definitely
on the
have
table.
an ale. Nisra has made sure there is money behind the bar for you to have a drink.
I'll have one then.
Yeah. I'll have one as well.
Have some of the food. Well, right for the moment.
Cool.
I'll have an ale. Yep.
Takes it out, comes back with a couple of tankards, and gives them to you
So
guys.
you
And
think he's...
you guys look kind of, there's a bit of foam on top, and
Think
kind of
he's
get rid of the
taking
foam a
them
little bit, and you can just see this kind of very cloudy.
No. I think he
Are you
was
sure it's just not meant to be vegan beer?
abusing his work.
It's wheat beer. It's supposed to be cloudy.
I don't necessarily know if he killed anyone at all. I don't know if it was just a bit of a slap around, got out of hand, or quite what, but it just seems strange that there's blood upstairs in the living quarters. And when I tried to ask someone about it subtly, they accidentally dropped something, and he came back and basically, yeah, bit of a tap.
Okay. Well, he is handy with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen that.
Yeah.
Okay. We will pay him a visit.
Nisra, roll me a survival check with disadvantage, please.
You trying to find your way back to the budget. Drunk.
Oh, slightly just like...
15.
Oh, nice, cool. You kind of step outside and orientate yourself for a second, and just kind of beeline through the crowds. Everyone seeing the state of you just kind of instantly parts out of the way. It
I
doesn't.
like how we've gone. Ah, fuck it. It's fine. Should be fine.
She'll be alright, we know she's gone.
She doesn't come
Have
back
we
in
even
2
noticed
hours.
she's
We'll
gone?
go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I say
We was
those
like,
two notice
ah,
pretty
yeah.
quickly, and you guys kind of getting your drinks and chatting and filling Coda in, and then you kind of go, "Oh, she's gone."
I wonder where she's up to. I know exactly where she's gone.
Yeah, I'm
Down
just...
on Word of the Dragon.
I'd go after her, but I need to rest to get some all my spells back, so...
I'm about to die.
So you guys get a little bit of food, a few drinks. 10-15 minutes go by. Anything you guys want to do?
We'll have some bread and cheese.
We'll leave it about an hour and a half. If she doesn't come back, cool.
Well, we need to wait for Zeraj. That's the whole point of this being in the book.
Well, yeah. Tell me about it.
Okay, what do you do?
I'm gonna storm in. Is he there?
The two kids are behind the counter. You don't see Akrog straight away.
Where is the big man?
And kind of a second later, you just see the form appear behind the kind of the bead curtain. Steps through, blood splattered apron, cleaver in hand.
Good afternoon, good sir. Do you eat people?
No, why would I eat people?
There
It's
is.
a check.
There are. Yeah. I am under good authority that there is people that aren't alive in your establishment, but we cannot see any bodies. Have you eaten them?
As you're kind of doing this, he just kind of lifts the countertop and kind of. I think you need to go find some sleep somewhere.
I am perfectly fine. I am with it. Do you eat people?
No, I don't eat people.
Then why is there non-animal blood with no corpses in your property?
We work with knives. The children can get careless.
Excuse me, little children.
He's got like Fight Club.
Little children. Is he telling the truth?
And he kind of looks over his shoulder at them.
Ignore him. I will kill him if he is hurting you.
You can answer her. And they kind of look.
Truthfully.
Roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
Like, extreme disadvantage. Just
5.
Cool.
I'm perfectly fine.
I know.
And the
Perfectly
kids
fine.
kind of just look at you and
Dog's back.
shake
I'm not as
their
strong as
head.
you think I am.
I do not believe you. Show me where you have cut yourself.
And he just puts like a hand on your arm and starts walking towards the door. I seriously think you need to sleep this off, huh?
I am absolutely fine. Do not touch me, good sir. You have to pay good money for that. Why? I don't believe the children's story. Why is there
Show me your back door.
Can't believe you just propositioned him to pay you a lot of money and then show me back door. Nice. Give him a business card, please.
He kind of tilts his head slightly and raises an eyebrow. If you're into that, I'm sure I can take a lunch break.
Yeah, okay. Show me the back. I have no idea what he meant. Show me the back.
And he will lead you out to the kind of part of the shop out the back.
Do I see any human remains?
Roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
Yes, all of them.
4.
There's lots of kind of salted cuts. You can see kind of stacks of bones. There seems to be kind of a couple of chests, and you can see kind of 2 doors. One seems to be on a partial corridor, and then the other one's kind of set into a wall.
What type of chests?
Big chests.
I'm not even going to finish that.
She said.
Where do those doors go?
That is where we store.
I check the doors.
Okay, you walk over and you open it, and the draft of cold instantly hits. You can see blocks of ice, and on racks, kind of.
Actually, no, that feels really nice.
Maybe you will enjoy it. Roll me athletics or acrobatics with disadvantage.
Shot straight in. Lock.
Fuck. Athletics or acrobatics? 9.
Cool. You find yourself shoved in to the room, and then the door quickly closes behind you.
Fuck.
It is pitch black. It is cold, and it is not comfortable in the slightest.
I'm going to do something out of the box here because it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
Can I cast Armour of the Agathis on myself to combat the fact it's cold by covering myself in cold?
Yeah, alright, I'll allow that.
You've got a spell that you can just teleport to a different place.
She's
Yeah,
drunk.
but she doesn't think about it. The instant worry is, oh, it's a bit chilly in here. And you kind of draw the cold to you and cover yourself.
I'm going to just
in
try
this.
and push the door.
Okay. You, and it kind of feels locked.
Hello! Hello!
Projectile over that cured me.
Did you know you've locked me in here? It's very rude. Very, very rude.
You guys chilling out in the pub for about another hour and 15.
Misty step.
Okay, where to? Do you need to see where you're going?
I don't.
I think you do.
I don't think you do either.
I think you do.
No, you do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You do.
Is there a window in the door?
No.
Oh.
It's a freezer. It's no window.
Do you try
Yeah,
and misty
you can
step
see.
through the door anyway?
Yeah.
Drunk as fuck.
Okay.
There goes my spell slots.
Roll me Arcana check based on your spellcasting modifier with disadvantage.
So add my spellcasting modifier to it.
Oh,
16.
Nice.
waste of a natural 20.
I mean, yeah.
You kind of stand there for a minute or so. Okay, hands on the. I can do this. I can do this. And that's. We'll come back to it. You guys, again, an hour and 15 or so, having chatted, eating some food and drinks, chilling out. Anything you guys want to talk about? Plan?
I have no plan.
You just
I'm just waiting as we go.
waiting for the rush.
Should we tell the city guard that we killed those things and they might give us a reward or something?
I'm not entirely pleased about this. Blood on the floor in the butchery.
Yeah, it seems so.
And
Yeah, I know.
Nisha's been gone a little while now.
She can take care of herself.
Sober, yeah. She was rather drunk.
You should have more faith.
I have
She
plenty
is-
of faith.
I have faith in flames and plants, not in people.
She
Yeah.
is resourceful.
I mean, in certain aspects. I said I'd give it an hour and a half, so
We have a little bit of time left.
Okay, one more drink then.
We'll get a beverage in. To be fair though,
Two more.
I mean, an hour and a half is the appropriate time to decide whether she's going to fuck him or not. So that's why I'm deciding hour and a half. I mean, that's normally from what I've seen, that's how long it takes her to make a decision and have some fun. So if she's not back in an hour and a half, then I'll go and investigate.
Siraj does eventually come in as you guys are kind of chilling out and chatting. Sees you guys and kind of walks over and says, "It was one of two places. I guess now I found you, I can stop looking."
Hi.
Okay. So,
So is this
So
the
this
first place you
isn't the
looked or the
diviest dive bar.
second?
there's a divey bar.
There's a divey abandoned it.
First, where is the other place?
There's a place in the far kind of southeast corner where the outer wall of the field ward connects the main wall of the city. That's a pretty grim corner of the town.
Cool, what's it called?
This is the Beaver's Run. That's why you got confused before.
I always must have been.
It's like, I can only have one file open at a time. It is Hoth Pharrell.
Oh, Pharrell. Okay, cool. Good to know. And secondly, what information do you have for us?
He kind of walks up to the counter, grabs a small glass, and walks back over, sits down, and starts to explain that he's wandered around the area, spoken to several people, and actually has hit a bit of a wall. You can find out that people have been taking jobs, can't find out who or where or why, but they're the ones that seem to have been missing.
So people are turning up to work for someone, you don't know who, and they're not coming back.
Yep.
What's the staff turnover at the butcher's been like?
Honestly, I've only been there a few days. A few things caught my ears and I thought I'd check it out.
What's Algorod like with the staff?
You met him?
Mm-hmm.
He's not the friendliest of person. Doesn't necessarily treat people badly, but definitely wouldn't recommend him as a boss.
Yeah.
And you can see the demeanour of Ziraj has changed slightly. He's a little bit more confident, a little bit more kind of set and assured of himself. The kind of slightly timider demeanour that you guys experienced earlier seems to have been a kind of front. Or this might be, you're not sure. But this guy seems to be more businesslike.
Why did you take a job at the butcher's?
I had my suspicions, I'd heard a few bits, but nothing concrete. So I've bounced around for the last week or so, a couple of days here, a couple of days there.
So you're suspicious of the butcher's?
There was a couple of places.
Have you ever been upstairs at the butcher's to the sleeping areas?
No.
Okay.
I have. There's not a great view. I'd say blood pretty much cascading towards downstairs. There's a large patch on the stairs. There's large patches upstairs. And when I tried to contact one of the workers, they dropped something and he basically slapped him around.
Doesn't surprise me from that guy.
Do you have any combat skills? If we go back today,
If we go back, we're not taking him.
Mere worker. Gather information. Try and avoid combat if I can, but I can defend myself.
Everyone has their roles, and everyone is a fighter. What's the other place that I just suspicion?
There's a sawmill. In the field wards. Dirty work. They seem alright. Boss is a bit of a hard ass, drives the people, but pays fair.
Well, do you know about Zantara meeting in, given the location of where we were before?
Doesn't seem to ring a bell. Doesn't mean anything significant. Been a little out of the loop. I'll try and find out.
So how do people find out about these jobs?
seems to be, word gets around, it's the field ward, people talk, everyone's always looking for work.
True.
And working in the city walls is mostly considered safer than working outside of them.
I like them actually.
Mostly.
Where would you go to get a job?
You can ask around, there's a few boards in town that if people are looking for workers, they're there, but
I don't think Ice Cube counts.
No, I said we've got a board.
I know we do. I thought you said you've got one. It's like you don't have a job.
she does, it's just not, tax appropriate.
You say you're out of the loop with the Zentaran.
Oh, I had a bit of a disagreement. As long as I keep out of their way and don't poke my nose around too much, I'm surprisingly allowed to live. There's been a few of us. We keep ear to the ground. If they have information, we try and provide it. It's less of a formal employment and more of a casual agreement. It's about the only way I can retire these days.
You're a freelancer for them.
And near enough. Still get an ass beaten if I need to. If I step on too many toes. Don't have all the protections that those that stay in do. That's alright.
And are they still warring with the Xanthars lads?
Last I heard there was a bit of a truce. Surprising. But they both had taken heavy losses.
That's curious. Okay.
But I know it's been quite around since we were keeping.
Yeah, you guys know that as part of when you met your new friend, that both sides had taken a heavy loss. They'd met up to discuss an external threat that had been harassing them both, and that meeting had been crashed, and they both took heavy losses from that point onwards. They had tried to stop fighting each other and divided kind of the underworld more. The Xanathar themselves, the orders keep coming through. Small jobs are done to save face on both sides, but they're trying to minimise each other's damage so at least they can survive and rebuild against this new threat.
Do you know who this new threat is?
There's always word on the street, but nothing concrete. It's a new gang trying to carve a piece of town. Xanathar usually keeps them away. We stayed under the radar for a long period. It's only in the last 10-12 years that we started trying to make a name for ourselves, and that's where the issues came with the opposition. But we both survived the licks, carried on doing what we do. We overlapped every now and then and scraped, but these guys are more aggressive, they're different.
That's concerning. I like this place. I like the people here.
The city has good people in it. It has bad people as well. And it has worse people. The bad people get along. A city always needs a darker side. The light can't always shine. If it does, it shines too bright. It's the balance.
I like that word balance. Okay. So you think like the butchers of the sawmill? Didn't see any signs of scarecrows at the sawmill, I suppose.
No, from what I can gather, that's a different occurrence. People have been missing on both sides, but they don't seem to be connected.
You don't fancy getting a job down in the southeast of the, what was it, the
Field.
area?
Field wards.
Field wards.
I can mosey on over, see if they need a bit of casual help.
I wouldn't go back to the butchers.
No.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, you guys give me enough to keep it going for a few days till I find something.
You can always come to Troll School. We'll welcome you.
If you've no ties to Zentarum any longer, then yes, you do not want to. I do not want a guild member, so to speak, working with you.
I've been in your place a couple of times. I've
Could always do
got a
bar
friend
stuff.
nearby. I can keep an eye for you guys and stuff.
That'd be fine.
Okay. I'll head out, see what I can find. Dig a few holes for a couple of days.
I'm going to fold one of my pamphlets in half and say, just something to consider.
Kind of picks it up and looks at it and went, some of us are low on faith these days. It might come in handy. And kind of slips it inside a pouch.
If you do anything further or like to get back into the whole swing of things, you always know.
I know where you guys are. I like freelancing. I'll see if I take up Oslo.
Freelancing was good. It's the freedom to do what you want.
Enjoy. I'll hang out outside for a few days, see what I can find.
Thank you, Siraj. We'll see what we can do. So,
He gets up and leaves. You see, kind of, he pushes his tankard nearer the centre of the table. Barely touched any of it, and leaves. And that is what we'll pick up next time.